And it's won by Brisbane. They're kicking towards us, which is the right-hand end if you're watching on TV in the city end.
So the city end, the Lions have won the first blow, if you like. They've won the toss and will kick towards the city end. Power gathered in a huddle there. Big moment for some of these youngsters. I just hope they settle. If they do settle and stay with the power early, then I reckon this game could be an absolute crackerjack.
Hard to tell. Bit of a swirly breeze as usual at the MCG because of the way this amphitheatre is built, but I don't think there's any real advantage. Russell, is there?
No, it was swirly in the early game, but it was such a lopsided game. I think it was about 16 or 17 goals to about 7 or 8. So no real strong end, and it does swirl around in the MCG, even though half the stands are missing.
So going to the bench for the Lions is Blake Carosella, McLaren, Hadley and Notting.
And for Port Adelaide, just repeating, Schofield, Dew, Cassisi and Kingsley.
Now we'll watch the matchup. This will be very, very interesting to see the matchups. Now Big Lade is going forward along with Gavin Wanganeen.
Yeah.
Thurston's going forward.
Toby Thurston's going forward.
It's all forward line for the power.
Scott and Johnson obviously going back along with Copeland, Mal Michael, White.
And it's on.
Oh, it's on already.
It is on.
Hardwick's in there. She's on.
Josh
Carr's in. Oh! Josh Carr's been put over.
Be a free kick.
Now what's going to happen here? Voss is in there.
Hardwick was put down.
Well, I thought Hardwick might.
Black's in there. Kane Corns in with Black. Oh, I tell you what, Carr, Black don't like each other. Hardwick there.
Now Pike's got a player in a headlock at centre half back.
Yeah, he has.
And it's Montgomery. He has.
A headlock.
Oh, that's a free kick.
Gee whiz. Why don't you play the free kick? The umpire about to put the footy down. The 2004 grand final, up they go. Getting the big thump away. Up towards the half forward. Picked up by Will.
Free kick in the middle.
Has been played. It'll go to Keating. Oh, look at the players going down right, left and centre. Ackermanis has put Sean Burgoyne down. Tell you what, she's on. A long kick there. The Lions into attack. Brown in front. Can't take the grab off hands. Hardwick goes in, goes out. He's been crashed. Tell you what, excuse me, she's on. On for young and old. Stay with us, folks. This is unbelievable stuff.
Umpires have put the whistle away, except for the first soft one in the middle, I don't mind saying. Plenty happening off the ball here. Bounce down, right half forward for the Lions. Brogan sits under the footy. Keating crashed through. Brogan comes away with it. Handball to Hardwick. Hardwick's left foot kick, not that flash, goes high to centre wing. No mark taken out there. Marnie and Wanganeen there for the power. Chance for Hardwick again. Good handball to Marnie. Carr is running. Runs through centre wing on the lead at half forward. Thurstons couldn't take the mark. It hits the ground. Who's the crummer through there? Carr has bunted up beautifully. The ball kept in play by the Lions. They're a chance to go forward now. And a high tackle. Port Adelaide a little untidy
at the moment. And a 50-metre. They don't want to get sucked in here, Russell.
No, you're right.
No, the Lions have started very, very physically.
Yeah.
It's on. Have matched them so far.
It's on. It is a grand final. There's no doubt about that. Luke Power gets up a little groggy. He was hit pretty hard. No one on the mark for the Power either. Someone will need to stay on the mark here because he can run on and play towards the 50.
Well, he can kick a long way too, so someone's got to get on that mark. Sean Burgoyne is running with Ackermanis. Keating has dropped right down deep, but Dean Brogue gets matched up.
Leads on from Bradshaw. He got away from Bishop, and Bradshaw has taken the mark. He's about 30 metres out on an angle, but he's a pretty good kick for goal. Played a wonderful game last week in the prelim final against the Cats.
Looks like Byron Pickett too is running with Nigel Lappin, so some matchups there, just as long as they don't go too negative.
Gee, what a fiery start. The 2004 AFL Grand Final. The first score on its way in now. Bradshaw it is for the Lions. Kicks, and he kicks it, floats across the face of goal. Minor score to the Lions early in this opening term, and it's the Brisbane Lions, one behind Port Adelaide, yet to score Cartridge World Scoreboard.
Matthew Bishop about to bring the ball back into play for the Power. Right in front of our commentary box, goes long, straight down the middle, looks for the tall timbers. Chad Corns is there, Brown at the back, spills out the back, a chance for Hardwick. The Power long kick, up towards half forward, Lades there, pushing and shoving, they're getting back there.
Yeah, too easy.
Is Mal Michael, did it too easy. Mal Michael, you heard Russell in the background, goes to the outer side, gee, but it's all the Lions back there, goes inside Lappin now up towards half forward, Bradshaw again, got him. Bradshaw, well outside 50. Bradshaw looks to give off the Martin Pike, short, decides against it. Bradshaw now.
Chad Corns very tight.
Will go over the top to McRae. Pardon? McRae plays on quickly. Goes towards centre half forward. Keating, he's got him. Keating now right on 50.
Brown's doing a terrific job. He's running Chad Corns around. Chad knows he's got to stand him because he took a lot of marks against him last time, and Brown is playing a real team game, opening up those spaces, sacrificing his own game, and Keating has dropped down. Dean Brogan's got to be aware that they will use Keating as he drops down. He loves to kick a goal.
Opportunity now with Keating. He'll kick from about 53 metres. Won't be easy. Very casual approach to the man on the mark, gives it a ride, it's going, it's coming back, won't quite get the distance. Brown almost a mark off hands and through for a minor score. So the Lions are 2 points, the Power yet to score on the Cartridge World scoreboard.
Oh, he's so threatening, isn't he? Brown in the middle of that pack, got his hands to the footy, couldn't complete the mark. Now Bishop will kick in. He's got Wakeland free, right on the 50-metre line. He goes towards him now, so Wakeland managed to get on his own. Port have got the numbers here. Wakeland takes the mark. In the end, Power came in to give the opposition. Handballs to the running Sean Burgoyne. Burgoyne goes to the middle, a couple of players. One of them's Pickett. Pickett takes the mark. Under a bit of pressure in the end from Lepich, but he stood his ground, Byron Pickett, and took the mark. He's at centre wing. Great southern stand side of the MCG. Pickett now to send Port Adelaide into attack for the second time. The last one rebounded immediately. Very crowded forward line. Brisbane get back in numbers. He goes to the pocket now. Sitting under the ball, Brogan couldn't take the mark. Good spoil over the top again, Mal Michael, who started very, very well. The two times the ball's been inside Port Adelaide's forward 50, Mal Michael has been there to do the cleaning up.
And how hard did Michael Voss and Simon Black work to get down, and they just fill up spaces, and then Byron Pickett just kicked too wide.
Lade and Brogan there. Lade takes it out of the air. The handball now set play. Roger James, left foot shot at goal. It's going to go to left towards the pocket. No score this time round. Brad Scott sits under it, punches it out towards White. White tackled, lost the ball. Chance for Port Adelaide. Hardwick goes goalward, and he's missed absolutely everything.
He started
and the ball has gone out of play in the left forward pocket. Laurie Cole.
5 possessions for Hardwick.
He's really doing the tough stuff in there, but he's getting a bit of his own ball there, and 4 or 5 really good possessions. The Power have to keep this ball in that dangerous zone.
Lepich now kicks. Back towards centre wing for the Lions. A pack forms. White's back there. Can't take the grab off hands. Bouncing football. James was there. Umpire calls play on centre wing. And finally the umpire will have a bounce in that.
Gee, they're making him earn them today. Roger James forever with his head over the ball. Might have just been infringed.
Bounce down centre wing. Brogan appeared to be held, taken by Carr. He's rock and roll. Was it illegal? No, says the umpire. Goes to Kane Corn, short. The kick has too much. Gary Treadray, a chance at the back of the pack. Treader's now left foot kick. Centres the football back towards Choppy. Choppy can't take the mark. Coming in is Voss. Was it a mark? No, they work it away. Scott comes back towards the centre half forward area. Brown in front, can't take the mark. Montgomery, a chance for the Power now. Goes to Corns. That's Chad with a handball. On the half-back flank, chips it short to his brother Kane. Can he take the grab? He can. Centre wing in front of the great southern stand. Will he give it off to Monty? Thought about it. Decided against it. Goes back into the middle. Got Dean Brogan. I tell you what, Port have soaked up this early pressure. Goes to Sean Burgoyne. Out wide. Opportunity. It's a poor kick. Poor kick as we see the McRae coming out now. Back towards the half-forward area. Pushing and shoving. Bradshaw again.
He's a worry.
He's taken some marks. He really has, Bradshaw.
Third grab.
That's his third grab. He'll go short out in front of Jonathan Brown. Got away, and Brown takes the mark. Still outside 50. Got Akamada short, decides to go long. One on which Wakeland now. Up there was Lynch coming in Brogan, and Brogan has taken the mark. I tell you what, they're holding him up there.
Free kick, Wakeland.
But back towards Hardwick, and away he goes.
Gee, Hardwick, 6th touch for him. He's having a wonderful grand final so far. Very early days in this opening term. Bishop it is, bounds away from centre half-back, shows his dash, goes towards half-forward, the kick. Thurston sits under it. No mark taken again. Black is there with the crumbs with him. Kane Corns worries him out of it. Corns at ground level. The Lions turn it over though. Coming through Carr. Carr at half-forward. Carr goes goalward. Port Adelaide are on the board. They kick the first goal of the afternoon. Cartridge World scoreboard. 7.5 minutes gone. And Russel Ebert, it was a pressure goal.
Yeah, magnificent goal. Michael Voss set the pattern with a good spoil a minute or so ago, but the Brisbane Lions couldn't capitalise. But terrific work there from Kane Corns, and Toby Thurston's put pressure on too. A good bounce away from Nigel Lappin. Josh Carr has swooped on it, steadied with his left foot, kicked the first goal in the grand final.
I tell you what, they've soaked up that early pressure and intimidation from the Lions, and to kick the first major, that's got to be an enormous confidence boost for them. Enormous. Back in the middle of the MCG, the 2004 AFL Grand Final, the big men will jump at it. They're like a couple of raging bulls. Brogan and Keating, down goes the football. The bodies will collide, they don't. Taken by James, smothered. Back on this occasion to Lappin, goes over the top, it's a loose football. Monty a chance, all that stuff, that one up. Comes to Brown, goes to Black. Black loose handball. They've turned it over. Wilbur Wilson. Great stuff. The power cords. Back to Montgomery. Tell you what, they've steady. Port Adelaide. Hardwick's playing an absolute belt of a game. Has a bounce. The veteran has another bounce. This is his last game, and what a start he's had to it. That's the kick up towards Treadray. Big fist by Leppich. Taken by Lappin. Wrapped up. Going nowhere. Umpire will bounce down. I tell you what, this is an impressive start by the power. I don't mind telling you.
Marnie was the tackler. Yep. Josh Marnie.
Good tackle.
Certainly was. Massive tackle. What a season he's had. Brogan to do the ruck work with Keating again. Brogan took it out of the air. That's dangerous. Quickly got the handball away. Peter Burgoyne spins out of trouble. He shows a ton of dash. Players are loose in the middle. Pickett's got it. Pickett takes the mark. Waste no time. Lade's on the lead. Couldn't take the mark this time. Coming up the ground, Wanganeen sockers it inside the 50. Goes towards the boundary line. Wanganeen keeps it in. Can he weave some magic? He's trying. He's trying to. And in the back, it'll go to Wanganeen. He tried and he came up trumps. Wanganeen now just outside the 50 for the power. Oh, they have absorbed this pressure, as KG said. He squares it up now, and Cassisi takes the mark. He's a long way from goal. He's almost back at centre wing. Couple of leads inside the 50. Marnie's one of them. He ignores that. Now Treadray. He goes to Treadray. Over the top, Leppich with the spoil. It goes over the back. Kane Corns there for Port Adelaide. It's all Brisbane. No, comes to Treadray. Left foot shot at goal. And he's offline. And the acting captain misses with his first shot of the afternoon. We've played almost 9 minutes of the opening term. Cartridge World scoreboard. Port Adelaide 1-1-7. Lions 2 behind.
Well, they certainly absorbed that pressure, Ken, and they've taken the physical stuff, and they've settled actually better. The Lions have missed a couple of opportunities, Bradshaw and Brown, and a long shot from Keating, but the power have settled better, and Warren Treadray really a couple of grabs up there, and he'll really make Leppich more accountable.
Ball ends up with Michael Voss. It came from Johnson. Voss now tucked away in the back pocket. He'll go short. Finds White, takes the mark. Opportunity for Darryl White now. Play's been held up. Marnie on the mark. White will go short. He'll find Leppich, plays on quickly, goes to Lappin there through the centre of the G up towards Ackermanis, but getting back first. And poor kick, good turnover. Sean Burgoyne again, up towards Lade. Lade should swallow this, can he? Yes, he does. Lade has taken the mark inside 50.
Inside 50, 7-4 Port's way.
Tell you what, they look the better side at the moment. I know it's only early days, but they look the better side, the power. Lade.
They certainly do. They're sharper, they're tackling, they're putting more pressure, and that Brisbane Lions defence is a little bit rattly under the pressure that the power forwards are putting on.
Now, Lady, a thumping kick. He's going to give this a ride. Goes back, lines up the big white sticks. Can he kick the power second goal? And he comes now. Kicks over the man on the mark, kicks towards goal. Oh, they love it. They absolutely love it. The power have their second. What a sensational start for the power. They are 2-1-13. The Lions, 2 points on the Cartridge World scoreboard. Russel Ebert.
Yeah, well, a real effort there from Toby Thurston. He came up the ground. He took a mark over the centre line, off to Sean Burgoyne, who streaked through there. He's standing Ackermanis, and a mismatch back there because Chris Johnson had left his man. Brendan Lade took the mark and then kicked truly from 40.
Peter Burgoyne goes into the middle. I've made a couple of changes there. It's Roger James, Josh Carr, Peter Burgoyne, and Brogan in the ruck.
Damien Hardwick's had a lot of touches early, but Dom Cassisi will give that extra bit of run now that Damien Hardwick's done his work in the first 9 or 10 minutes.
Comments from Port Adelaide champion superstar Russel Ebert. Kane Corns running with Simon Black. Some wonderful matchups all over the ground on grand final day. In the middle again, Brogan got it down towards James. He was tackled. Peter Burgoyne out of the middle. No,
free kick
going to come back. It'll be a Port Adelaide free kick. Finally, Roger James is rewarded for the hard work he does at ground level. So James now right from the centre circle. Michael Voss is on the mark. The leads come forth. Oh, Pickett had to have 2 bites at the short pass. Dropped it in the end on the way down. Coming through hard, Cassisi at half forward. Got the handball out. Kane Corns dived in over the top of it. And we'll have a ball up in the end. No, Peter Burgoyne, the umpire let it go. Burgoyne spun out of the pack, and he's found Thurston's at centre half forward. Thurston's has taken the mark in opposition to White, and this tall forward line, Russell, has paid off so far, albeit we've only played 13 minutes of the grand final.
Kane Corns came in strong.
In the middle, have a look.
Black, and now Chad's in
there. Have a look in the middle.
Really
punches.
Having a go.
Oh,
Brown!
Jonathan
He's thrown about 4.
Yes, he certainly did. Josh Carr was on the end of one of it.
It was the thriller in Manila.
Well, I'll tell you what, call the action, Ditz.
Thurston's on his way into goal. Kick looks good off the boot, but it drifts, it fades to the right now.
You reckon Brown
Minor
didn't
score. Tell you what, he was swinging like a rusty gate.
David Arnfield is out there. The emergency umpire is talking to him, but players were swinging like a rusty gate there.
Rusty gate? It was a brand new gate.
You reckon Brown would have learnt, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Obviously not.
Doesn't matter in grand finals.
2-2-14 the power. The Lions 2 behind.
The kick in goes to the outer side. Gee whiz, it's going to be out of bounds on the full, is it? It is. Gee whiz, it's all happening for the power. Dom Cassisi now, outside 50, right in front of the Great Southern Stand.
Just trying to be too tricky with a look-away kick, and you just don't do that in grand finals. You do the percentage things. Dom will put this right to the goal square.
Cassisi now, outside 50, squares up. Goes to Roger James. Roger James still outside 50.
Important touches early too, Roger.
He was always going to get touches, Russ. He's that sort of player, loves these games.
Kick number 3 coming up for Southland and Northeast Mitsubishi.
And being looked after by the umpire too. Got a couple of frees.
James will go, squares it again, goes to Peter Burgoyne. They're still outside 50. They are 2-2-14, the Lions, 2 points. Cartridge World Scoreboard. What a great start by the power.
Only one player, and that's Darryl Wakeland.
Peter Burgoyne goes up to...
Treadray.
Yeah, Treaders has taken the mark in the forward pocket. Good lead, good mark. And Treaders has taken the mark. If he can slot this one, this would be super.
Only 2 players, Alistair Lynch and Darryl Wakeland, in the Lions' half of the ground.
Well, they've flooded back, haven't they? They're going to make it hard all afternoon in this area.
The action with the Treaders lines them up.
Well, Michael Voss kicked this way. He won the toss and kicked this way, so you'd think there's an advantage.
Exactly. Treaders now, very acute angle, puts it up. The goal umpire going a little bit right. I think he may have kicked it. Has he kicked it? Wait on the goal umpire. Yes, he has. What a goal. Oh, that's their third. Dream start here by the power. 3-2-20 the Lions. 2 points. That was a wonderful kick by Treaders.
Well, a sensational kick. They had the degree of efficiency on the board, and I think it was about 20 or less %. But what a magnificent start. All the matchups. Chad Corns is staying close to Brown. Montgomery is staying close to his man there, Notting. And, Dom Cassisi now on the edge of the square on Copeland. So all the matchups are working.
You should have seen the replay. Josh Carr hitting Jonathan Brown. The other way around. Brown hitting Carr.
Brown threw about 4.
Oh.
Gee.
Waiting for the umpire to bounce the ball in the middle. Almost exhausted here. We've played 20 minutes.
I'm gone.
Come on, you've got 3 quarters
I'm
to go.
gone.
Come on, fellas.
It's
Fair
already,
income.
This game's already a ripper. In the middle again, Brogan runs hard at it with Keating. They share it. It comes down to Peter Burgoyne. He shows his pace. He shows his dash. Comes around onto the right. Kicks forward inside the 50 again. Not his best kick this time. And the mark has been taken at centre half back. And it's Chris Scott who's got the footy at half-back. And a 50-metre penalty. The second one against Port Adelaide.
Yeah, Josh Marnie just held on to him too long. And, of course, the seasoned campaigner in Scott milked it for all it's worth. And that's a vital 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, it certainly is. The lead's on now from Johnson. Johnson runs hard to centre wing, takes the mark. Lade will come in and stand the mark. The lead on from Ackermanis to the pocket. He's on centre wing, Johnson, so still a long, long way from goal. Brogan gets back into the gap as well. The lead's on from Brown. Treadray sits under it with courage. Treadray outmucks Brown. He plays on, hits the ground running, the acting skipper to Montgomery. He's run down as he gets the kick away. Good pressure, Ackermanis. At centre wing, Johnson traps the ball again. Goes to ground. Copped a high one, but he did duck the head. Michael comes out with the ball. Indecisive. In the end, gets the handball away to Brant Scott. Scott now shows some toe. Kicks to the pocket. And Chad Corns has taken the mark. They are panicking at the moment, Brisbane. Hey, but they're a great side. Don't worry, they'll come back hard. The kick comes across goal to Gavin Wanganeen. The champ has got it. Goes over the top to Peter Burgoyne.
He played well.
Gee, question marks over this fella. What a quarter he's playing so far for the power in this grand final. Long direct kick. Lade sits under it. Couldn't take the mark. Over the back now. Doing the mopping up. It's Hardwick. Hardwick handles to Dew. Dew goes goalward. And when you always expect to write Stewie Dew down for a goal on the run, he scores the minor score for Port Adelaide. 3-3-20 on the power. The Lions are 2 behind Cartridge World.
The Lions aren't in this game at the moment.
No, they're very, very flat-footed, and some heads are down and some hands are on some hips.
Voss is off.
See Voss going off, so that's a big change for the Lions.
The kick in. Opportunity now for the Lions to work it out of defence.
Copeland.
Tucked away in the back pocket. Runs on, no one on the mark. Runs past the mark, kicks along the centre wing, looks out there for Big Keating, got his hands to the football, couldn't take the mark, the ball spills out of play. So a throw-in will take place. Centre wing, out of sight of our commentary position.
KG inside 50s, Port 11 to Brisbane 5.
Gee whiz, Port Adelaide 3-3-21, the Lions 2 points, yet to get a major on the board. Throw-in, centre wing. Over the top on that occasion went White, only as far as James. Gee whiz, what a start to Roger. Roger James short, goes up high, looking for Treadray, couldn't take the mark. Big Mal Michael comes through, bursts through the pack, gets a handball. Opportunity for Copeland, short. White again, centre wing out of sight, they try and work it away. Scott up towards half forward, looks for Keating, and Keating, didn't go at it hard enough, anywhere hard enough. Second level was better, goes to Lappin. Lappin now chips it short, Ackermanis got him, and Ackermanis takes the mark. Ackermanis now, not an easy shot. Sean Burgoyne's done well thus far.
He certainly has, and don't worry about this Brisbane Lions side. They're not in their 4th grand final because they chucked the chips in. They'll just keep working at. They'll weather this storm. Ackermanis is one of the sparks they need.
Ackermanis puts it up high. He won't get this one. It's fading across. Is it coming back? It come back. Strike me, Pink. How far did that come back? That did an absolute Shane Ward leg break, and they have their first major, the Lions. They are 1-2-8, Port Adelaide 3-3-21 on the Cartridge World scoreboard.
Well, we're sitting right in line with that ball. It was going to miss by 2 metres.
Exactly.
That's why they're out there, because they're champions. Jason Ackermanis, he said that he was going to play well, and Sean Burgoyne's done a terrific job on him so far, but you can never keep Ackermanis down. They work that ball out of defence. Good possession play. Keating made a little bit of a hands mistake, but he was quick enough to recover, got it out onto Jason Ackermanis, and he's kicked truly.
Gee, a ball faded back, didn't it, Russell? It was drifting across the face of goal. The wind got it. He knew. He put it in the right spot to allow the breeze to grab it, and it took it back into the goal mouth. Handy goal to the Lions, 1-2-8 they are. Port Adelaide 3-3-21, deep into this opening term. Brogan and Keating go at it again. Brogan got the tap away. Anyone there for Port Adelaide? Yeah, Dew is. Dew got the handball back to Kingsley. Couple of fresh legs there to Kane Corns with the handball. Great vision from him. He saw Marnie out the corner of his eye. Marnie's loose on the half-forward flank. Runs into a spot of bother now. Gets the kick away quickly. And he was under pressure. Kick to centre half-forward. The Lions are dropping their marks everywhere. Chance for the power. Gavin Wanganeen picks it up. Goes goalward and he misses. So the power a little shaky at the moment as well. We've seen Treadray miss a snap from out in front. Now Gavin Wanganeen does. So a little nervy. Yeah, Stuart Dew as well. So 3-4-22 the power. The Lions 1-2-8 Cartridge World scoreboard.
But it's important touches, and it's the pressure, and the Lions' defence is starting to drop marks. They're starting to miss targets. So it's the pressure that the power forwards are putting on.
Johnson now brings the ball back into play, goes out to White, looking at there for White. Off hands it goes. Opportunity out for Treadray. Trap. Gets it back to Stewie Dew, around his body up towards full forward, thumped away, ball to ground. Opportunity for the Mount Michael to come away. He's played pretty well. The handball. Opportunity on this occasion. Come away. Scott has it in the back pocket. Will go short and finds Hadley. Hadley now.
They steady, don't they? They cover for each other.
Opportunity tucked away in the back pocket. Goes short. Looks out here for Lappin. Got him on the half back flank.
Possession number 6 coming up for Lappin.
Trying to work the ball out, Lappin. Will go in short. Scott again. On this occasion, Chris Scott has the footy. Gee, where are they going now?
Back over there to get a run out.
Back out wide. A chance now for the power to work, the Lions to work it out. Runs through centre wing. Opportunity up towards half forward this way. Comes inside to Mal Michael. Mal Michael, centre wing. Kicks long up towards full forward. Ackermanis in front. Pushed under the football. It was there. It was pushed under the footy. Free kick to Ackermanis. It was there. No doubt about that. The push. And Ackermanis has in fact been paid the free kick.
Well, they went on and kicked a goal, but the umpires have pulled up play. So Jonathan Brown now just relay the ball back to Jason Ackermanis.
Ackermanis now. The crowd have gone nuts. The power supporters, but it was there. He pushed him under the footy. And Ackermanis now. Kick from just outside 50. Gets in very close to the man on the mark. Swinging back. Will he get the distance? It's got both. Ackermanis has kicked his second. So the Lions hit back. They are 2-2 That is 14, Port Adelaide 3-4-22. Country 12 scoreboard. Russel Ebert.
Yeah, just some of those shots that Ditz mentioned before. Warren missed a shot, Stewie Jew missed a shot, and you just can't afford against this machine of a football team. You can't miss shots like that. You've got Bradshaw up forward. You've got Lynch, who hasn't done anything at the moment, but Ackermanis is the target. He's playing deep, and then he can run with full face at the lead. And the Brisbane Lions players, they've settled now. They've got over that first 5 or 6 minutes of adrenaline and intimidation, and now we've got a game of footy here, Ken.
Oh, Lynch is having a go. Lynch is having a go at Wakeland. Just grabbed him around the throat as well. So it's still on. Back in the middle, the bounce down. Lade's gone into the ruck. Lade's gone into the ruck with power. I didn't see it's on in the goal square for the Lions. They're throwing punches everywhere. Ackermanis. That's gone mad. Lynch has gone crazy. And a Brisbane free kick in the middle. Brisbane free kick in the middle again.
He has gone mad.
And he's still swinging them. He is swinging them from everywhere.
Gee whiz.
It's on. Lade sits under the ball at half-back. Couldn't take the mark. Now
Can't believe I've seen that.
Montgomery handballs to the pocket.
That's disgraceful.
Sean Burgoyne's there to clean up for the power. He'll find Kane Corns at centre wing.
That's disgraceful.
It certainly is. And I cannot believe, this annoys me. The umpire's gone out to talk to Daryl Wakeland. Can you believe that?
He's having a word to Lynch now.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's ridiculous. I've never seen like it in my life.
He's tried to punch him into tomorrow.
Well, he always has.
And Wakeland gets spoken to. Work that out. Back on the game now. Kane Corns at centre wing. Kicks high towards half forward. A lot of Brisbane players around the footy. And they have the numbers, and Johnson takes the mark. And a 50-metre penalty. He had the ball knocked out of his hands. But anyway, the ball will come back now. Gee, Wakeland's looking a little bit groggy. I reckon he's got a couple of big ones.
I'd be in Tomorrowland.
Well, it's Lynch's last game. He's going to go out doing some damage.
Dylan McLaren now. McLaren has the ball. The ruckman fresh onto the ground. Kicks towards the pocket. Brown and Chad Corns. Brown front position. Chad Corns did well. Sean Burgoyne came through.
Ackermanis caught one.
And now Michael Wilson bounds out of defence. Handballs to Kingsley in heavy traffic. Did well. He was very cool. Goes towards centre wing. Brogan under it. Good mark taken by Leppich.
Free kick to Brogan.
Free kick in the back. In the back.
Now Michael pushed Brogan under the ball.
The turnover at centre wing. Port Adelaide at the footy. Now the short pass is on to Wanganeen, who slides into it and takes the chest mark. We've seen some of the biggest punches thrown here. This takes you back to the 50s and 60s.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
There'll be some replays of that.
Gee, some blokes will get some weeks here.
I think Lynch is in trouble.
50-metre penalty, is it? No, the kick has gone to Pickett. Sorry, I took my eyes off the action. Pickett's got the ball at half forward. Goes Goldwood, and again he's offline. So Port Adelaide squandering chances in this opening term.
I think Lynch is gone.
3-5-23. Lions 2-2-14.
He's been reported, but I think he's got trouble with his leg.
And that's at the 26-minute mark of this opening term. Cartridge World Scoreboard.
Gee whiz, that was some of the biggest punches you've ever seen, and you're born natural. I don't mind telling you.
They're just showing a replay of it now.
Gosh, some of the biggest punches you'd ever wish to see. They even not want to see, actually. Stewie Jew's in there, takes the mark. Stewie Jew.
Just go back and kick a goal,
Stewie Jew. Lynch is going off. He's got a crook leg. Comes back inside to Lade. Lade now outside 50. Lade.
I reckon he's got hamstring. His left hand.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, he's limped off.
He's gone.
Yeah.
You can't run. You take risks with injured players.
Lade now with the action. Lynch limping off.
Bit of irony there, Cage.
It certainly is. I don't think he'll take any further part in the game. He probably knew that.
Maybe he did.
Yeah, I think he did. Lade now puts it long out wide. Wanganeen under it. Can't do much if they try and work it away. Scott. The handball over the top. Aerial ping pong. Johnson couldn't take it. Back towards centre wing. Gives the chance for Kingsley. Kicks around his body up towards full forward. Leppich sits under it. Wanganeen ducks his head. Grabbed. Opportunity for Brogan at the fill of the fumbles. And in fact is forced out of play about 25 metres around from the goal. From Port Adelaide's goal. They need 3-5-23. The Lions 2-2-14 on the Cartridge World scoreboards.
A little bit of adjustment here because Daryl Wakeland's gone on to Bradshaw and Matthew Bishop will come back on to Tim Notting.
Lade brings it over the back. Brisbane a chance. Pickett runs onto it. Easy goal! Byron Pickett for the power. Boy, they needed that one. They've missed a couple of easy chances. Set play in the forward pocket. The ruck work, it worked a treat. And Byron Pickett has kicked his first. Port Adelaide go to 4-5-29, leading the Lions 2-2-14. Alastair Lynch has gone off. They need to reshape this side. Port Adelaide with the advantage late in the first quarter.
Well, they've been under pressure. They started out to try and intimidate the power. Boys really stood firm there. Stewie Jew involved to knock the ball forward to Byron Pickett, and with pace and poise he's just settled and kicked a goal.
So Port Adelaide have made some changes here, Russell. Wakeland's gone to Brown. Chad Corns has gone to Tim Notting, and now Bishop has gone on to Bradshaw.
Gee whiz, okay, back in the middle. Umpire, fair dinkum, what a quarter this has been.
Ooh.
Unbelievable. Umpire about to put the footy down. Big bounce, men sit under it, up they go, up high. Aerial ping pong in the middle. It's Port Adelaide again through James. Gets it to Lade. They're into attack again. The power up towards centre half foot. Almost a mark to Thurston. Spilled it. Johnson's in there. They're trying to work it away. Treadway's in there. Heavy traffic. Spills out the back. Tell you what, she is on. There's Lappin. He's knocked over. In there is Josh Carr. He's knocked over. Get in there and you get knocked over. And finally the umpire will have a bounce.
Mal
at centre
Michael.
half forward for the power.
Mal Michael has picked up Josh Carr.
Unbelievable.
1 minute 10 to go. This quarter, 1:10 left.
Gee whiz. Unbelievable.
Opening quarter, dying moments. Last minute, the tap comes the way of Stuart Jewett, centre half forward. He's pulled off the footy.
Free kick.
And it'll go. There was an earlier free kick, though, and it's
Yeah.
going to go Brisbane's way as Stuart Jewett threatened to run into an open goal. So Scott it is at centre half back. Gets the kick away towards centre wing to his brother, I reckon it is. And the Scott boys combine. Inside the 50 now, Akamanis on a lead. Chad Corns got there first. Just got the fist in there. Sean Burgoyne picks it up. Shows his pace. Goes towards Josh Carr, centre wing. Carr turns Burke. Hope went inside out. In fact, it's Kasisi. Can he pick it up? Yes. Left foot kick inside 50. Brogan's there for the power.
Whoa, a bit high.
tackle.
Yeah, high
and
tackle.
a Brisbane free kick. They pay the advantage. And the Lions come out of defence. Michael
no.
Wilson.
Oh,
Courage Wilson. Over to Peter Burgoyne with a handball. His little chip pass will find
Pickett's been great.
And Pickett can steady things for the moment.
He's a
They need to
premiership
hurry.
player.
They need to hurry if they're to kick a goal here in this dying moment.
15 seconds to go in the term.
So Pickett needs to get on with it. He's at centre wing. He's a long way from goal. Lade gives a lead towards the pocket. He ignores that. He needs to hurry. Now he looks for something
it's too
across the
far
other
out.
side of the ground. He'll
all right.
find a player in Lade, but he's a mile from goal, Brendan Lade. Port Adelaide need to hurry now. Clock ticking away towards quarter time, and in fact I think
There's
the
the
siren
siren.
has gone.
He'll have a shot.
Brendan Lade, he can kick the ball an absolute mile. We saw him against Fremantle one night with a wet
A big
ball.
screw punt here.
And he's on his way in with the torpedo punt. He has gotten hold of this.
That's a goal.
It's a huge kick. It's a massive kick. It gets the distance, just falls short. And there it is, the quarter time score. And KG,
Now watch this.
What an opening from the power.
That's unbelievable. They took up all the intimidation from the Lions in the opening moments, and they withstood that, and they looked the better side in that first quarter as the sides gathered. The Port Adelaide players talking to the umpires as they go to their various huddles. We'll wait because it's been an action-packed opening. I don't mind telling you, they're still pushing and shoving going on at the moment as they go to their respective positions. It's on again. Tempers are becoming frayed. McLaren's in there. Bit of pushing and shoving, a bit of biffo. Scott, Johnson, gee whiz, Hardwick's off the bench into the umpire. Gee whiz, she was a rugged, tough affair. So at quarter time, as the Lions and the Power go to their various huddles, it's Port Adelaide 4-5-29, Lions 2-2-14 on the Cartridge World Scoreboard. I'm out of breath. Yes, welcome back to the G and our coverage of the big one, the AFL Grand Final for 2004. Port Adelaide 4-5-29, lead the Lions 2-2-14 at quarter time. 9 scoring shots to 4. Let's check the stats for quarter time for Southland Mitsubishi. Here's Laurie Culliver-Loza.
Port Adelaide went inside 50, 19 times to 10 in that first quarter. They had 86 possessions to 58 and took 28 marks to 24. Gavin Wanganeen 5 kicks and a hand pass. Lade 4 kicks and 3 marks. Peter Burgoyne 6 kicks. Brother Sean 5. Hardwick 7 possessions. A great start to the first quarter. Pickett 5 kicks. Brogan 5 possessions. Chad Corns 3 kicks. And Roger James, after a slowish start, 4 kicks and a hand pass for the Lions. Chris Scott 6 and 2. His brother Brad 4 and 1. Lappin 5 and 1. Bradshaw 3 kicks, 3 marks. Akamanis 2 kicks, 2 goals. Stats to quarter time for Southland and Northeast Mitsubishi.
Gee whiz, we're just seeing in replay. Thank you, Loza. Some of the happenings, incidents in this first quarter here at the G, and I tell you, she was on for young and old. I tell you what, Big Jonathan Brown has copped Cara Beauty,
Carr.
and Lynch has shown some of the biggest punches. And if Daryl Wakeland hadn't ducked, it would have killed him, put him into Tomorrowland. I don't mind telling you.
Well, bear in mind the facial injury to Daryl Wakeland a couple of years ago, and then Alistair Lynch, he just went berserk. And he won't play any further part in this game or a lot of games to come.
Gee, Josh
Retiring
Carr,
today.
how did he withstand that onslaught from Jonathan Brown, for goodness sake?
Well, he's tough and hard.
Tough and hard, like hitting cement,
And
obviously.
still kicked a goal.
Well, it was a remarkable performance by the Power. They withstood the fiery opening by the Lions, and I tell you what, She was on for young and old, and
I don't think Jonathan Brown will play for a while next year.
No, I don't think he will either. But they were certainly the better side, Russ, in that first quarter.
Well, they settled very, very quickly, and after the initial heat in the game, which we all knew were there, they really settled. And players who were missing last week, Peter Burgoyne was just sensational. Byron Pickett, always dangerous up there. Kane Corns is doing a terrific job on Simon Black. In fact, Simon Black is out of the square now. We've got Voss, Power in there with Keating. So Kane Corns has caused Simon Black to be taken out of that midfield. Terrific effort to have that happen.
Russell, the interchange bench for Port Adelaide this term: Schofield, Dew, Marnie and Kingsley. So Cassisi of the interchange bench named as starting on the ground. For Brisbane, of course, Lynch, Carosella, Hadley and McLaren.
Okay, this is time to start the second term here at the G. Power away to a great start. The bounce down. Keating and Brogan go at it. In the middle, heavy traffic. James on the bottom of the pack again, as always. And a bounce down in the middle of the G. It's pushing and shoving again. Hardwick's in there.
White is on Thurston's down here. Mal Michael is still on Treadray. Johnson on Cassisi up forward with Wanganeen and Scott.
Bounce down in the middle of the G again. Fiveaa AFL. Keating with a big fist away. Goes to Pike. He's been quiet. Good trade on airy. Keating throws his body over the footy. In there is Bet Montgomery, and again the umpire is forced to have a bounce down. Still in the square at the G. The Lions are 2-2-14, trailing Port Adelaide 4-5-29 on the Mitsubishi Electric air conditioning scoreboard.
Peter Burgoyne certainly had the better of the duel with Copeland.
Bounce down, pushing and shoving the big thump away. Goes towards Notting. Can he pick it up? He can. Then gets it to Power. He's grabbed high. Well, umpire says no. He's never get a free kick.
For a trip.
Which way is it going to go, for goodness sake? It'll be Power, I think. He gets it to the bottom of the pack, and Power will take the free kick. Goes out wide. Opportunity for Lions out there, and they've taken a mark. Pickett comes in. Is that 50?
Oh, I think
Notting has taken the mark. What's happened here? No, he hasn't. Gee whiz.
Now, Notting is a long, long kick, and on the run, he would get the distance easy. So he'll go back a long, long way, and he will make the distance here.
Notting now. He's going to give it a ride. Choppy on the mark. Notting now for the Lions. Going to give it a big, big ride. Comes in, long way behind the man on the mark. Notting approaches the man on the mark, approaches the kick, goes, bang, it's going up towards full forward, pushing and shoving at the back and through for a minor score. So the Lions now are 2-3-15, Port Adelaide 4-5-29 on the Mitsubishi Electric air conditioning scoreboard.
Well, Michael Voss went this way in the first quarter, and you'd think there'd be a bit of a breeze, but the majority of the scoring has been done at the other end. 10 scoring shots.
Bishop kicks in. He's been going long with the kick-ins, goes to the centre square, getting up high. Montgomery had to go the fist in the end, couldn't take the mark. Brisbane had the crummers at the fall of the ball. They had too many numbers. It ends up with Brown, who's at centre wing. Jonathan Brown quickly towards the 50-metre line. Power made some space, took the mark. In fact, it's McRae. McRae now from the flank, goes to centre, half forward. Wilson with courage got in the way, allows Corns to come out. Handball's wide now to Pickett. Pickett's got nobody to kick to. He's got a couple chasing him. One of them's Pike. Pike in hot pursuit. Pickett loses the footy, regains it, and he has another bounce. He's had about 4 bounces. Now he squares it up towards Wanganeen. Wanganeen couldn't mark. Over the back is Voss.
Yeah, had to be. Had to be.
And it is a free kick to Gavin Wanganeen. He went up high. He flew high for the overhead mark, and Chris Scott took him out of the play illegally.
Yeah,
so the free kick just inside the centre square to Wanganeen. Goes to the lead of Lade, but Jonathan Brown gets in the way. And Brown has taken the mark.
See, the umpires, that's a terrible decision.
Lepic is running free at halfback. He'll gain the ball and run towards centre wing now. Great southern stand side of the
Look at Keating. Look at Keating.
Yeah, there are loose players. Keating's one of them. Brogan gets back there now. Lepic stops at centre wing. He stops and props. He's having a look. He's taking forever. Now he handballs over the top. McRae's his target. McRae's got a player on his outside as well, but in the end he kicks it. Goes to the front of the goal square. Brogan gets back. Port Adelaide have the numbers. And a good mark taken by Daryl Wakeland, who I've got to tell you is a little groggy. He copped a couple of the biggest punches you've ever seen thrown, whether it be a boxing ring or a football field. Brogan runs from half-back.
Has a bounce on the half-back line, kicks back towards centre wing. Treadray's his target. With him is Mal Michael, gets the big fist of the football. Aerial ping-pong, back towards Scott, goes the handball, back to Lepic. Lepic on the half-back flank. Again, he's undecided where to go. Goes into big Keating, he should swallow this and does. Keating at centre, half-forward. Handballs away to McRae. McRae directly in front, kicks towards goal. He's missed. He's missed from 35. And another kick. A kick, he's bound after he kicked it, so he'll be brought back. He's missed the kick too. That's going to hurt the power. Yeah, especially in too late.
That is garbage. I don't care what you say. That is crap.
As we wait on McRae now.
Yeah, nothing in that.
You've got to be kidding. In front of goal in a grand final, you're going to give those free kicks.
Bad.
35 metres out.
As they pay him all the time.
McRae now missed with the initial kick. Umpire clearing the passage, but McRae with the action.
Simon Black's stats, Laurie.
Yeah, Black pretty quiet, Russ. I'll get to you in a sec.
Yep.
McRae now will watch the kick. We're right behind it. Gets in close, and he's done the same thing. Has he?
He's got the
post.
Hit the post. So still only a minus score. Port Adelaide 4-5-29. The Lions 2-4-16.
4 possessions for Black.
Yep, and gee, a valuable miss there. Had the double chance and kicked almost exactly the same kick, so just no correction.
Gee, Bishop, a risky kick this time. It's a big contest, marking contest. Wakeland equal of the task. He's taken a big grab at half-back, and now they've played it on for some stupid reason. He took the mark, they paid it, and now they play it on. He handballs to Hardwick, in turn to Sean Burgoyne.
Whoa.
Burgoyne now. Gee, Hardwick could shepherd off the ball. And the kick goes to half forward. Cassisi couldn't mark. Peter Burgoyne shows pace, loses it in the tackle. Copeland was the tackler. He loses in the tackle to Cassisi. Now Mal Michael spins out of a tackle. Oh, Port Adelaide, good pressure in the forwards. The ball ends up with Brad Scott, and now they relieve the Lions. Good pressure, Port Adelaide, but gee, Brisbane were equally as good. Look at the ball now from Voss to Lappin. Lappin now, little chip over the top. Chris Johnson, the All-Australian, fumbles at centre wing. Now he gains the footy, gets out of a tackle, regains the ball, spins out of another tackle. Voss has run all the way up the ground and takes the handball. Now on a lead, Akamanis. Got it on the bounce beautifully. Goes to ground and still got the footy. Then releases it. Umpire says play on. Coming into tackle Kane Corns. And surely they'll ball it up. Left half forward for Brisbane on the 50-metre line.
Gee, they're big guns. Mal Michael was cool back here in defence. Akamanis got involved. Scott got involved. And then Black, in the end, took the ball to ground and was pressured by Dean Brogan.
The bounce down outside 50 for the Lions. Up they go, pushing the back by Brogan. Surely. Has it been paid? No. Keating thumps it on. Akamanis. Oh, is he pulled off the footy? Umpire says what? Has he paid the free kick? Yes, he has.
Had to be.
Yes, and then there was Hardwick. Hardwick, get out of it, Damien.
He's reversed it.
He's turned it around.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. He's given it to Hardwick. Look at this, what a turnover. Goes to Montgomery, goes to Bishop. Strike me pig. This is a fiery afternoon at the G, I can tell you. Thurston, you've got to stand up, son. He does. A great handball. Comes to James, does it well. Taps it over towards Choppy. Go, Choppy. Go, Choppy. Choppy, what does he do? He does go. He goes all the way. Go, Choppy.
What a
unbelievable. Port Adelaide 5-5-35. Lions 2-4-16. What is not happening here at the G, Russell?
Well, once again, Damien Hardwick, the intimidator all the time. Akamanis got it, but you can't put your hands in the face, and Damien Hardwick got right into Akamanis' face, and Akamanis pushed him away with his hands. Can't do that. Free kick down. Roger James was good. Toby Thurston was terrific with his double effort that created the opportunity. Roger James, ever skillful to Byron Pickett. Goal.
Oh, what a turnover. Big mistake at half forward from Akamanis. The free kick was there. Wilson had dragged him off the footy. And Akamanis does not miss. He would have been 20 metres out. Back in the middle now. Massive turnover in this grand final. Brogan goes hard. Keating did better. What a great tap to Voss. He got it to Power. Power slipped over as he got the kick away. Brown threatened at half forward. Handball to Pike was good. Now in turn to Black. Black's at half forward. Runs one way then the other. Runs into Josh Carr. Got the kick away. High to the front of the goal square. Michael Wilson goes to fist. It's dangerous. It's loose in front of goal. Akamanis goes to ground. And the ball has dribbled out of play. Akamanis gets up and says, how about a free kick, umpire? And in fact, it's through for the minor score.
Well, he's had his free kick, Ditz, and he gave it away.
That was a free kick.
Serve the others.
Yeah, Wilson this time. He's got to be careful, Michael Wilson. 2-5-17 Brisbane. Port Adelaide 5-5-35. Mitsubishi Electric Air Conditioning scoreboard. Bishop to bring the ball back in.
Bishop now with the football. Port Adelaide looked the better side at the moment, withstanding the pressure being applied by the Lions. Kicks back towards half-back, not a good kick. It's kicked straight to Jonathan Brown, who takes the mark. Brown now outside 50 for the Lions. Look in the pocket. McRae was loose. Thought about going that way. Decides to go to Bradshaw. Too short. Montgomery chips in. Peter Burgoyne. And away the Power go. Out towards Treaders. Treaders and Brown collide. Ball spills loose. Brown first to it. Gets it to Mal Michael. Taps it out to Power. Has a fit of the fumbles. Gets it over the top. Lappin. He's wrapped up by Chad Corns. For the free kick off the ball. He'll go to Brisbane to Jonathan Brown. Brown now will take the free kick. He's thought about going inside. They're missing Lynch up forward. They certainly are. Power. He'll go over the top. Martin Pike's the player he aims for, gets him. Pike now outside 50, chips it up towards centre half forward. Pack forms off hands. Bradshaw, Ackermanis in there working hard, tapped out wide, chance for Sean Burgoyne. Goes to Hardwick, goes to Bishop. I tell you what, they look all right. Oh, bad kick on that occasion, thumped away on that occasion by Scott. Back on this occasion to who's that player there? Notting now kicks towards goal, and he has missed. Whoa, strike me, Pink Lions, 2-6-18. Trailing Port Adelaide 5-5-35 on the Mitsubishi Electric air conditioning scoreboard.
Bishop again brings the ball back into play. A loose player at halfback is Montgomery. He hasn't been bad, Russell, either.
Yes, he's had a terrific game. Floats there, helping out his defenders, and then used on the relay.
Port Adelaide have got loose players. Roger James at centre wing, so he goes short to him. They just steady it down for the moment. What a pace this game's been played at. You can't blame them for slowing it down at the moment. Josh Carr gives a lead. He takes the mark at centre wing in front of Brown, who tangled earlier. These two, did they ever? Now Hardwick gives a lead. Hardwick, brilliant first quarter from this fella in his last game of AFL football.
And he's followed it up too. 3 or 4 vital possessions really in the heat of the game.
11 for the match now, Russell.
So Hardwick now centre wing. Great Southern stand side of the MCG, which is absolutely jam-packed. Corns gives a lead. Kane Corns it is. Doing a wonderful job so far on Black. Now Kane Corns. He's probably got the ball just in front of where his father's sitting this afternoon. The proud Graham Corns. Treadray gives a lead. So Port Adelaide working their way up the ground. Treadray takes it out in front of Mal Michael. He's still a long way from goal. Looking for a lead upfield.
3 marks for Warren Treadray.
Kicked a miraculous goal in the opening term, a real captain's goal. He goes very short to Peter Burgoyne. There's nothing on offer. Brisbane have manned up all over the forward line. Now he's told to play on. Has to get around Voss. The Shepherd applied by Pickett. He goes wide to the other flank. Thurston's the target. Couldn't take the mark. They need Crummers, Port Adelaide. They haven't got them forthcoming. Brisbane do a good job. Now Wanganeen gets in there. Wanganeen claimed it. Went to ground. He was shoved to ground as well. Umpire says play on. Thurston's a chance to break clear. Now the umpire will come in and ball it up. 55 out from the Port Adelaide goal. Pressure-packed football.
Unbelievable.
These are the two best sides. If you had any doubt, any query coming to this game, those queries have been answered. Bounce down now. Brogan's in there. Kane Corns jumps up high. Roger James fists it forward, but Lepage will be the first one there. Deep in defence. He's in the back pocket. Goes with a left foot kick. Gets one from Hardwick as he gets the kick away. Good pressure from Hardwick. And in fact, it was Thurston's, I should say. Toby Thurston's with the pressure, and it forced the kick to go out on the full.
Bishop now, centre wing out of side. Looks for options further afield, kicks it towards the 50, lays his target. There was that wide off hands chance for Kane Corns. Get the handball to Wanganeen, wasn't right at his feet. Wanganeen over the top, only as far as wide. He's under the pump, goes back to Lepage. Lepage now this way, he's gone. That's holding the footy, surely it is. And he's been pinged. And I think you'll find Josh Carr will take the free kick.
On his left side too.
Josh Carr, tell you what, Josh Carr will drill this. Josh Carr will drill it.
Already kicked one.
Josh Carr, we're facing the kick. Josh Carr.
Kick number 4 coming up for Josh Carr this afternoon.
Port Adelaide 5-5-35. The Lions 2-6-19. Just would be a very, very handy goal. We'll ride it home. In comes Josh Carr. 3, 4, 5 steps. Now goes bang with a kick. It's a shocker. Right across the face. The goal is not dead yet.
Out of it yet.
It finally is out of bounds. And a throw in about 5 metres around, 10 metres around from the power goals. Into attack.
Set play. Watch Byron Pickett here.
What will he do, Russell?
Oh, he'll swoop around the back and hopefully just tap it down.
Throw in, pushing and shoving. Brogan. Opportunity, Lappin, he's wrapped up, going nowhere. It's tough, Cassisi, and the umpire will bounce down once again, about 25 metres from the power goal. It's
over towards the flank. Lade there, Brogan's there as well. Couple of tall options up against Keating. It'll be Brogan who makes no. Lade over the top, the set play. Pickett, Russell caught it. Pickett left it behind, allowed Lappin to win the ball. Scott came out with a handball. It doesn't reach. Hardwick comes through.
That's
Hardwick in the middle to Wilson. Wilson, quick hands to Pickett. Loose players for the power, but he just bombs it long. Treadray under it. Brogan under it. Lade will do the crumbing. Willie can't get there. Now coming through, Roger James. James handball. Cassisi, left foot shot at goal, and he's off decline.
Yeah, why wasn't Voss played?
Voss had to be
Well, they
protected
wonder why
there.
there's tempers becoming frayed. That was a
had
free
to be
kick.
protected.
Yeah, he was rock and rolled from front on. Very dangerous. Port Adelaide 5-6-36. Lions 2-6-18. Mitsubishi Electric Air Conditioning scoreboard. And we've played 14 minutes of the second term.
To be fair to the umpires, Vossi just ducked his head down there and Kane Corns hit him on the side or the chest
Copeland, the
area.
kick, and gee whiz, Luxor forces him off the side of the boot. Well, inside step, and it goes to Lappin. Lappin out wide. Blacks his target. It's got too much carry, but he'll get it first. He can go to Notting. He decides to go further. Bradshaw just stays in play on Bradshaw. Now, they're missing Lynch up 41 up from the first quarter. They're missing his presence up there, taking away a marking option, but it's Bradshaw.
Darryl Wakeland's not missing him.
No, he's not. He's played well, Darryl Wakeland. Bradshaw now decides to go long. Puts it up long into the square. The tools are up there. Up high. Oh, mark! Keating! What a mark! Came from the side and takes a huge grab.
Just such a dangerous player there. The pack was set. Jonathan Brown was in there controlling Treadray and Wakeland, and Keating has come right over the top and taken a miraculous mark.
Keating now, not an easy conversion here. Brogan on the mark. Keating goes a long way back. It's the power 5-6-36. The Lions 2-6-18.
Brisbane's last goal, the 23-minute mark, the first quarter.
Well, in the mental stakes, this is such a vital kick, because if he can kick it, well, then the Lions players will lift their heads. If he doesn't,
they'll get the wobbles.
They've worked so hard for about 15 or 16 minutes with no result.
I'd like to back the fact that he misses this. Keating now approaches the man on the mark ever so slowly. Whaley on the kick. It's on its way. What's he done? I think he may have squeezed it. He has. He has kicked it for the Lions. They have their third. They go to 3-6-24. Port Adelaide 5-6-36 on the Mitsubishi Electric Air Conditioning scoreboard. Russel Ebert.
Well, without Lynch out there and Ackermanis a little bit quieter in this quarter, goals are so hard to get. Black got involved there with a good run down the side there, but then just a terrific mark from Keating, and he just had to take that mark and kick the goal. He has, and the Lions, they breathe a big sigh of relief.
And the Lions supporters roar as well. You can hear the chant. Massive support for the Brisbane Lions here this afternoon. Schofield's on for his first run, going off Peter Burgoyne for a rest. So Schofield, impact player. They need his dash. Loves to run down the ground and kick a goal. Umpire Brett Allen in his fifth grand final bounces the footy again in the middle. Brogan and Keating, they share it. Lappin's in there. Porter chance through Roger James. Spins around onto the right. Johnson makes front position though and takes the mark in front of Cassisi. And no, not a 50-metre penalty.
Lost the his arms around.
Yeah. 4 marks for Chris Johnson for Southland and North East Mitsubishi.
So it was a chance for the power. Roger James had won the ball in the middle, but Cassisi caught on his heels that time. They bring it wide now towards centre wing. Notting takes the mark. Notting now goes further afield, goes towards centre wing. Lappin, what a player this man is. Takes the mark. Ackermanis shows some dash. Gets away from Sean Burgoyne, but he ignores that lead. He's looking further afield.
This is where they're breaking down, Ditz.
The short pass is on. Bradshaw gives the lead, slides on hands and knees and takes the mark. Still a long, long way from goal. He'll look to kick them inside the 50 this time. So Bradshaw now.
5 marks.
Yeah, he's been getting a bit of the footy. White gave a lead short, ignored that one as well. He goes long, goes towards centre half forward. Good long direct kick, big pack of players.
Good
and the
mark,
Great mark, Brett Montgomery. He's playing a wonderful grand final, has done so far. Across goal, Port Adelaide bring it through. Josh Carr, he has a couple of bounces. Now he'll swing it back because Pickett's loose at centre half back, and Pickett takes the mark. He can run if he wants. He decides to kick it straight away. Kick towards Treadray. No. Getting a hand in the way there was Copeland. Good turnover from Copeland. He handballs wide now to Brad Scott. Brad Scott just fumbled. Off the bench, Peter Burgoyne nearly claimed him. Handballs back to Mal Michael. Michael now kicks inside the 50. Chad Conn. Too strong the mark.
That's a good mark.
And it's Bradshaw. Bradshaw took the mark in opposition to Chad Corns. And it was a strong grab.
Gee, that was a good build-up there, but just Warren just waited for the ball and allowed the player to get in front of him. Mal Michael cleared it. Terrific play by Copeland just to get a hand in there. And then the solid Brisbane defence got it out, gave Bradshaw a chance. He just held Chad Corns underneath the ball. He's an accurate goal kicker.
Now this is to bring it within a kick. On his way in now, the margin's 12 points. Bradshaw, nice looking kick off the boot, and he's made no mistake. One straight kick in the grand final. Late in this second term, we've played 19 minutes, and on the Mitsubishi Electric Air Conditioning conditioning scoreboard. Brisbane go to 4-6-30. Port Adelaide 5-6-36.
Yeah, well, this side just never lies down, and they just poise there. They work for each other. Copeland was desperate there with his hand across Warren Treadray to spoil the ball, and they just created some run and some opportunity. Bradshaw marked and kicked accurately. Now it's time for the power players to balance, get the ball down to Thurston's, Treadray, Lade, Wanganeen, Cassisi, all waiting for their opportunity.
Umpire about to put the football down. It's a 6-point ball game, as Ditz has told you. 5-6 plays 4-6. Umpire about to put the footy down. Goals in the second quarter.
Goals are coming from a long way out, Ken. We've seen Keating kick from 40, Bradshaw kick from 40, definitely missing Lynch.
Certainly are. The bounce down. Brogan and Keating will jump at it. Brogan gets the tap. James wrapped up. Again, the umpire will be forced to recommence play with a bounce. Almost in the middle of the G as we look around. A sea of people here. It's unbelievable seeing the atmosphere. Had an unbelievable start. The bounce down. Keating, Brogan wrapped up. Keating with a thump away. Taken by Lapham. Wobbles a kick. Up towards Montgomery with the help. Got to get a free kick.
No free kick.
Joking. Played to Peter Burgoyne. There had to be a free kick. What's going on out there? Copeland. Gee whiz, it's disgraceful. Comes out to Power. Power from centre wing. Chips it short. Martin Pike. That was a disgraceful decision. Pike now kicks long. Up towards full forward. Brown hits the body and spills out of play. If that wasn't a free kick, I'm a female.
There's only three of them out there.
No, Monty just clamped I reckon the Lion's arm underneath his and just tried to milk it for all it's worth.
Gee, we throw in.
Pike off the ground.
Power into attack. Brogan, Keating in front, pushing and shoving at the back. Oh, where's Lappin? Lappin gets it out to Notting. Notting goes to Ackerman. He couldn't kick a miraculous goal.
Yes, he can.
He does. He's kicked a miraculous goal. Scores a tied in the grand final. 5-6 apiece on the Mitsubishi Electric Air Conditioning scoreboard. Russell, what a game of footy.
Well, it's Ackermanis' third goal, and Lynch is off the ground, will take no further part. Brown was strong and determined in that contest there. Lappin is just getting the ball. He must have 17 or 18 possessions before half-time. Ackermanis, he says a lot and he's very, very confident, but he backs it up. His 3 goals.
Port have made a change. Bishop's gone on to Bradshaw with Chad going on to Carousella.
7 possessions for Lappin in this second quarter.
Yeah.
Waiting for the bounce down in the middle. 21 minutes gone, second term. Kingsley's coming to the middle. Going off for a rest, Roger James.
Gee,
well
that's
deserved
woken
as
the
well.
crowd up too.
Scores tied away in the grand final of 2004. Keating got the tap away. Chance for Brisbane again. Notting it is. Going in hard though. Winning the ball was Carver. He lost it. Power got the kick away quickly towards centre half forward.
Bradshaw!
One-hander taken by Bradshaw. He is playing a great game. Bradshaw. He's looking to get straight on with it. Brown nearly fell over as he gave the lead away. Bradshaw kicks long, goes all the way to the goal square. And Brown nearly a mark off hands. Voss off hands. And now another chance. And the goal. They have hit the front of the line. Tim Notting has goal from a snapshot. And the Lions are in front.
Oh, they just won't lie down. They just bang the ball forward there. Luke Power got involved getting that. They are up and running now. Gee, big couple of minutes for the Power. They have to get the ball in that centre square, hold it in. They mustn't give possession. Everyone's running back to congratulate Darryl White, Mal Michael, Chris Johnson, Copeland, Scott, Lepich in this defence.
Brisbane have kicked the last 4 goals and 4 clearances to 1 out the centre in this term Brisbane's way.
And that tells the story. The Lions in front, 6-6-42. Port Adelaide 5-6-36.
Yeah, Roger James out of that centre square.
Get him in there.
He's got to stay in there. He's the one that can get his hands on the ball and clear it for the Power.
Lade and Keating about to contest this bounce down into the second quarter. So it's the Lions by 1 goal. The bounce down, thumped by Keating up towards McRae, trying to punch it on. Goes to Kingsley, Treadray, back to Schofield around his body. Thurston's go for it, son. He does. Then falls over, gets the handball. It's a shocker. Puts him under the pump. They'll get away with it. Keating, Kane caused both diving it. And the bounce down will take place in front of the Great Southern Stand.
Now, interesting, Treadray was at centre half back for that centre bounce, and Mal Michael was loose on his own in their defence.
Yeah, gone defensive. We look at the stats. Inside 50s, 20 for Port Adelaide the first quarter, only 5 in this second quarter to 15 to the Lions.
Keating, Bishop Bishop gets the ball to boot somehow, but it spills out of play. Throw in right in front of the Great Southern Stand here at the MCG. What a game it's been, folks. It's had everything. A fiery opening. It's been superb football.
3.5 minutes to go.
Thank you, Loza. Throw in centre wing. Great Southern Stand. Keating. Brendan Lade, the power will lift. I'm sure they will. Lady gets the tap. Here's a chance for little Josh Carr. Pick it up, son. Does it the second attempt. Gets a wobbly old kick. Spills about 3. Mal Michael, sensational. Gets his fist to the footy, and it goes out of play. Throw in outside 50 for the power.
Oh, Treadway turned him inside out too.
Yeah, he did. The problem that the Power have got is Lepich is a free man up in the hole where a defensive rush kick will go. So someone's got to go over, and Toby Thurston's jogging over at the moment on Darryl White, but to man up on Lepich.
Laid out of the air, over the back. It's all the Brisbane players. He didn't have a Port player there where he tapped it to. Now Lappin comes through, gets a wobbly kick towards centre wing. Brogan, it eludes him. Awkward bounce. Ackermanis came through with the boot. Umpire says play on. Brogan holding the ball nearly. No. Umpire still playing it on. Brogan just sat over the top of the ball. He put it on the ground, and it could have been holding the footy. Umpire said he'll have it. He will ball it up centre wing, outer side of the MCG.
Just wasn't kicking in danger. Made contact before the hands were there.
Keating came over the top, got it to Ackermanis, was good. He was tackled by Burgoyne. Powers tackled. He keeps his feet though, beautifully done, and squares up the ball.
Here's the man.
And he has found Lappin.
Yeah, who's on him? Is that Josh Carr's man?
Lappin's got it.
I think it is.
Of each other.
Lappin's got it at centre wing now. Schofield runs to centre half forward to pick up Brad Scott. They'll square it up though to Mal Michael. He's in the middle of the ground. Was on his lonesome. Loose play on the other side of the ground. They switch play now to Copeland. Can run through the middle. Torpedo punt wobbles off the boot. Goes to centre half forward. Montgomery's there for Port Adelaide. He wants the boundary line and he handballs to the boundary line and could have been deliberate. Umpire says throw it in. Left forward pocket for Brisbane.
2:20 to go this quarter.
25 gone. Brisbane 6-6, Port Adelaide 5-6.
Can't afford to have another Brisbane Lions goal here. Keating's down there. So's Ackermanis, always dangerous.
The throw in goal, they tap it towards their goal square too. A mistake from the Power this time, and they'll concede the behind. That was the right way to go because Port Adelaide won the ruck tap and put it straight into the goal mouth for the Brisbane Lions. Brisbane now by 7 points, 6-7-43. Port Adelaide 5-6-36. Mitsubishi Electric Air Conditioning scoreboard.
Got in a ditch. Bishop about to bring the ball back into play. Up towards this occasion, Wake and Woolmark does in front of Notting. Too easy. Gets the handball to Sean Burgoyne. They're coming down the wing here. Monty's got to go. Take the grab, Monty. He does. Marks at centre wing. Bradshaw's on the mark. Goes out wide to little Josh Carr. Can they hurt the Lions on the rebound here? Thurston's got him. And Thurston's has taken the mark. Gee whiz, this is an important kick. It won't be all that easy. No, the angle fairly acute.
Port's last goal, 7-minute mark, first quarter.
Thurston's now.
Gee, that's not a good stat, is it? And, well, Toby, he's played a pretty good game. His second and third efforts have created opportunities for teammates. Toby, you've got to kick this now.
Thurston's now comes in.
Back on.
Thurston's goes bang with the kick. Looks okay. Looks pretty good. Looks great. I think he's kicked it, has he?
He's kicked it.
Yes, he has.
Good goal.
Gee whiz. Port Adelaide 6-6-48. Tail the line. What's the score?
42.
They've got it
1
on the
point
board.
difference.
6-6-42. The Lions 6-7-43. 7-43. A 1 point ball game. Russel Ebert.
Yeah, terrific passage of play there. Toby Thurston's ending up with a kick to goal. The important thing, apart from the goal, is the fact that Alistair Lynch is back on the ground. Dean Brogan has gone down deep just to match up while the Power defensive coach, Dean Bailey, rearranges the play.
But again, the Lions have got loose players in defence. Port Adelaide are outnumbered back here. How's this? Treadray's got to beat Lepich and Mal Michael, if you don't mind.
Josh Marnie coming on now to match up on Chris Johnson.
Gee, Treadray's got a big job to do here at centre half forward. Thurston's one-on-one with White in the goal square. In the middle, it's Lade and Keating. Lade got up first. Great tap. Great tap to Josh Carr. Running is Marnie at centre wing. Goes to half forward. Marnie waits for it to bounce. Gets around Johnson. Handballs to Wangani. No, he doesn't. Great play, Johnson. Too good. And Johnson goes back to Marnie and says, cop that. As he intercepted the handball, he wrapped him up as Port Adelaide threatened to go forward. Gee, they're good players, the Scott boys. They really are. So the throw in now about 70 around from the Port Adelaide goal. Port Adelaide threatening to go into attack again.
Ackermanis and Burgoyne at it again.
Well, Ackermanis was put down. Umpire said play on, and Ackermanis comes out with the footy still. Now on hands and knees, Keating pushes it forward. Was good play. Handball comes out to Power. Power gets around Kingsley, and then he was tackled. Well done, Kingsley. The handball comes out towards Montgomery and Black, and Montgomery sees the boundary line and goes that way and taps it out of play. No damage done. Throw in centre wing in front of where the members used to stand here at this wonderful stadium, the MCG.
You start thinking about the second half. A free kick here Free kick to Ackermanis. He's been in with Sean Burgoyne having digs all the time.
Why did they do that in the early part of the game?
They should have. Just picking him out now.
Good call. Ackermanis will come back a long, long way to Johnson. Johnson's in half-back on the defensive 50-metre line. 50
seconds to go in the quarter.
Keating's worked hard.
The kick now towards centre wing. Bradshaw's taken the mark. Bradshaw getting away from Bishop. He's played a great quarter, Bradshaw. Has been a real target up forward. Mal Michael's loose at centre half-back. He ignores him and just goes with the short pass along towards Caracella at centre wing. Almost at half-back still he is. Looking for leads at half forward. Goes short to Bradshaw. They're just milking the clock. I'll be happy to go into half-time by the look of the Lions with this score. Oh, this is a risky kick. Michael's got to wait for it. Gets an awkward bounce. Marnie comes in at him hard. Good pressure, Marnie. Wraps up Johnson in the tackle. Well done, Marnie. He had 2 to beat Marnie. Then he shrugged off and goes to ground. The kick to centre wing. Treadray in front. And Treadray takes the mark in front of Brown. Treadray doing some defensive work. Shocking kick, but it'll find Pickett. Pickett lifts the eyes. Nowhere to go. Bounces.
There's a goal,
There are no forwards. Pickett has a couple of bounces. Bacon goal square. Toby gets back. And the mark is taken right on the siren. Thurston's had 2 to beat. What a half of football in the grand final of 2004. And at half-time, Port Adelaide trail by a solitary point. It's the Lions 6-7-43. Port Adelaide 6-6-42. Russell, Ebert, do you like what you've seen so far?
Well, I certainly do, but the goals dried up for the Power, and Toby Thurston's kicked one late there, but just not enough goals. The Lions were completely in control, but you go in half-time and you're only a point difference. I reckon there's a little bit more petrol in the Power's tank because they've had that extra rest. They haven't had to fly, but you never underestimate.
Yes, welcome back to the G. We've just seen the sprint here between the various AFL clubs, and Luke Jericho from the Crows finished 3rd, so not a bad run by the young man from the Crows. At half-time, it's the Brisbane Lions 6-7-43, leading Port Adelaide 6-6-42 on the Mitsubishi Electric air conditioning scoreboard. What would Choco do ending at half-time, Russ?
Plead with them for another effort like
obviously.
That, and he'd want them to lift after a terrific first quarter where they kicked 4-goal-5 to 2-goal-2 into whatever breeze was out there because Michael Voss went with it, although that has been the scoring end, the punt road end. So he would be just structuring that forward line and telling Warren Treadray to be the marking target up there. He'd be pleased with the effort of Toby Thurston's with his second and third efforts in particular. Byron Pickett really needs to run this game out. He can't stop there. So he'd just be imploring him for another effort. The defence has been pretty good. Alistair Lynch off has made them lose direction a little bit. Bradshaw's had to come a long way.
But did he put his hand up, Bradshaw?
He certainly did, and kicked a couple of goals there. Keating, Brogan, Lade are having a really, really good contest there. It'll be interesting to see when Lee Matthews gives McLaren a little bit more of a run, because he certainly knows that he's going to need Keating in that last quarter. So
that might be the chance for the Power to get back into the game.
I think it might be because Lade and Brogan are certainly matched it with Keating, and McLaren being a youngster, they should be able to exploit that. And I don't think he would have the experience to run forward like Keating does. So interesting to see. But Mark Williams would just be saying you've got another hour of football in this season. You're in with a chance, only a point down. We're going to come home stronger than the Lions. Let's make sure this third quarter is the hardest you've ever played.
Brisbane back onto the ground. Russell, what about in the middle? Who do you think the on-ballers should be at the start of this third term for the Power?
Well, Hardwick's got to go back in there. Roger James, Josh Carr, go back to the number one team, the hard, tough nuts there. Peter Burgoyne has been good coming off the edge. Sean Burgoyne's got to do a job on Ackermanis. Can't allow him to get in there and provide a spark. He's already kicked 3, and also on the other side, Kane Corns really has to make sure Simon Black doesn't get influential in the packs along with Michael Voss, because their handball gets it out to Lappin, who can cut you to pieces.
Have you seen Sean Burgoyne's game on Ackermanis? Ackermanis has kicked 3.
It's been, I reckon he's done a reasonable job, and Ackermanis has just willed his way into this game with his experience and his willingness to run and work. Blotted his copybook against Hardwick, because that would have been another shot at goal 10. So really, he's had a 4-goal. He's had a 4-goal quarter nearly, or a couple in the first quarter and then a couple then. So he's been really, really productive. Sean Burgoyne has been providing a little bit of run out of that defensive area. So that's just a way-up situation with Ackermanis' goal against the rebound that Sean Burgoyne offers.
Here come the Power, Ken, back onto the ground for the second half of this grand final.
Treadray, Josh Carr, Lady, Cassisi, Schofield, Stewie Dew. Haven't done too much. Stewie Dew and Scoey.
A couple of players there are very fresh.
Very fresh indeed. Even Gavin Wangerling by his standards.
Yep.
Gee, Choppy's been good. Russell, isn't he?
He's been terrific. He's a big-time performer, and this is why Mark Williams likes him in there. He's hard and tough, and players around him, opposition, really respect the fact that he is so physical, so they very, very rarely target Byron Pickett, which allows him that little bit of freedom. He's quick off the mark, he's got terrific skills, and he can kick a long way, and that's why he's got to match Ackermanis as that small goal-kicking forward.
He does add plenty of spark, old Chubby. When he gets the football, it's exciting stuff, and he can really, really hurt you. I just wonder what they'll do with it, whether they'll start with McLaren the lines in this quarter to give Keating a bit of a rest.
No, I think what they'll do, Keating will start and he'll probably go hard for 7 or 8 minutes, and then because remember you've got the quarter time break, so they'd want to add that to the game time as far as a break's concerned. So I reckon Keating will start, he'll go hard, try and get an ascendancy in there, try and get the momentum going, and then McLaren will do a job as the quarter unfolds.
Interchange
as we see
players,
McLaren jogging off.
Heading off, yep. McLaren, Hadley, McRae and Pike go off.
Gee,
for Brisbane.
McRae off. I thought he's been well, he hasn't had a lot of the ball. He kicked a goal, which I'm a bit surprised at that. Pike, he hasn't done much.
Carosella going forward for the Lions. Bradshaw, Brown, Lynch. Lynch is back out there with Ackermanis.
Well, that's a surprise. I thought Lynchy was gone the way that he hobbled off the ground. I thought he was gone in that second quarter. So Brown's gone to centre half forward. Carosella's there. Ackermanis, Bradshaw and Lynch at full forward. Gee whiz, that's a talented forward setup, isn't it?
It is. The players
Brendan
off.
Lade, Toby's gone.
Sorry, just quickly, the players off for Port Adelaide. Cassisi, Schofield, Marnie's there and Kingsley.
Yeah, we've got Lade down forward, Treadray, Gavin Wanganeen, Toby Thurstons, Byron Pickett and Peter Burgoyne lurking at centre half forward to use their pace and their goal scoring ability.
Now on ball for Port
back
Adelaide.
into the square.
Yeah, Kane
Brogan,
Corns.
gone.
Kane Corns, Roger James. Josh Carr goes in there. Brogan to do the ruck work as well.
That's okay because Kane Corns will go straight on to Simon Black and then they don't get lost in traffic coming off the end.
Okay, the start of the third quarter. I thought Damien Harvick may have started in the middle. He goes past Jonathan Brown and the free kick. You idiots. That's so undisciplined. It's stupid, Jonathan Brown. Harvick was running around the square and he's put him down. So
there's some gaps there with Jonathan Brown.
In fact, the free kick was taken by Brogan, but it was interfered to by Damien Harvick. So Port Adelaide have the first break out of the square. That's unbelievable. Undisciplined football, that is. Goes to handball to Chad Corns. Goes up towards Wangan and he takes the mark. Well, that's good movement by the power. Wanganeen now.
Dew was on his outside running on his left too and he ignored him.
Wanganeen. He reckons he can make the distance. There's a little bit of breeze out there. That's been the scoring end. Can Gavin Wanganeen duplicate what he did last week?
Wanganeen now. Long way outside 50. He's looking to give off. He goes into the pocket. Pushing and shoving out in the pocket of there. Almost to mark the third.
Free kick.
Free kick to Toby Thurston's being held onto.
He was manhandled.
Unbelievable by White. So Thurston's now takes the free kick. So that started from an undisciplined effort here by Jonathan Brown. Now we wait on Toby Thurston's now kicked a good goal in that second quarter from an acute angle. Can he repeat the dose and put the power back in front?
Third kick for the day.
Well, this is a very similar kick, KG, isn't it?
It is
to the opposite end.
Wait on Toby Thurston's. Kicks this goal. Port Adelaide hit the front. Bright sunshine here at the G. The kick's on its way. The goal umpire's a move. Toby Thurston's in the first minute of the third quarter sees Port Adelaide back in front. 7-6-48. The Lions 6-7-43 on the Commonwealth Bank scoreboard. Russel Ebert.
Yeah, the free was certainly there. Darryl White had hold of Toby Thurston's Guernsey. But just how much does Lee Matthews put up with Jonathan Brown?
Exactly.
That is just undisciplined, ridiculous. Off the ball and given a free away.
So
and that's a goal.
Voss is getting into Chad Corns now as well. He runs to centre half back.
Well, I can't believe that. It's just ridiculous stuff. Undisciplined.
Umpire to bounce the ball in the middle. Perfect afternoon. The ground is bathed in sunshine. The grand final of 2004. The bounce down. Good high bounce it was too. Brogan got the better of it. It comes to Kane Corns. Quickly kicks to centre half forward. Treadray made front position. Left it behind. Wanganeen at the back. Wanganeen at right foot kick. Terrible kick in the end. Just dribbled along the ground. And we just don't expect that from Gavin Wanganeen, although he was under a ton of pressure. And the ball goes out of play in the right forward pocket for Port Adelaide, who have done the attacking early in this third term.
unusual indecision by Gavin. He wasn't sure whether he could make the distance with that kick, and then just some indecision there. He's got to clear his mind and just go back to playing like he plays.
Power by 5 points. Brogan and Keating. Keating belted it to the front of the pack. Then he reclaimed the footy. His kick was smothered though. Off hands. Port Adelaide a chance. Stuart Dew. Well tackled. Got it back to Kane Corns. Kane Corns right foot. Snap it. Goal! Oh, touched on the line. Great defensive work, Darryl White. The ball was sailing for a certain goal, and White got there in a nick of time. Port Adelaide doing the attacking. 7-7-49, leading the Lions. 6-7-43. Commonwealth Bank scoreboard.
Gee, I like the way they've come out in this opening moment to the third quarter, Russell. The
Certainly
Power
has, and Darryl White's just paid back for that indiscretion. Just got his hand to the ball. Kane Corns, good handball there from his Power teammate, and good shot.
Johnson goes into the pocket. Opportunist occasion for Scott to take the free kick. Goes back towards Power. Power now comes inside. Lappin trying to work the ball out of defence.
Just that
the
link
Lions
player every time.
Yeah, they just get that little gap, go short. Opportunity now for Scott. Tucked away in the centre half back area. Comes out wide. Ackermanis in front and takes the mark. Does he? No, it's played on. Ackermanis has good recovery as the bounce comes inside. Lappin again. He's going to be run down. Gets the handball over to Black. Black run down. Ackermanis a chance. They're under the pump. The Lions. Loose football will come to Michael Wilson. He won't budge an inch, I can tell you. Into a pack of players that's thrown out. Kane Corns tackled. Gets it out to Will, but does a pirouette. Throws it away. Goes to Brown. Brown opportunity. Voss under the pump. Gets the handball. Here's a chance for Power. Gets the handball back into the pocket. Which way? This way. Kicks towards goal. And he has kicked it. That's Notting. Notting has kicked a goal. Notting has kicked a goal for the Lions. That's his second. Strike me, Pete. What a game of footy. It's tied away again. The Lions 7-7-49. Port Adelaide 7-7-49. The Commonwealth Bank scoreboard. Russel Ebert.
Well, pressure there all the time.
Unbelievable.
Went in. He was tackled. Sean Burgoyne on him. He got the ball out. Voss went in there. Chad Corns tackled him. He threw it out. Luke Power, always cool, got it there to Notting, and he has
good
just...
goal.
Oh, it's a brilliant goal for his second.
That's Brisbane at its best.
Oh, is it ever? Pressure and be able to absorb that and still have the presence of mind to balk and kick a goal.
Brisbane at its absolute best. Under the pump, Port Adelaide tackled and tackled again. They did well also, but Brisbane stood tall. They lead again. In the middle now, Brogan comes over the top of Keating. Got the tap away. Then he goes again, Brogan. Great effort. Dew left the ball behind. Peter Burgoyne likewise. It comes out now to Notting, who's been an important player. Notting kicks towards Caracella. Couldn't take the mark. He was held. Yeah. And the free kick will go to Caracella. Montgomery, the transgressor this time. The ball comes back to centre wing. Brisbane a chance to go forward again. He's going to swing it across to the middle. Loose players in the middle. Standing on his lonesome is Brad Scott. He plays on immediately, kicks it high in the direction of Bradshaw. Keating as well. They all go up over the back. Bishop and Lynch. Bishop gets rid of it. Goes to the boundary line with a quick kick. Wilson's there. Was by Power. Power under pressure. Gets the handball away. Left foot kick at goal. Notting. And Notting's done it again. Oh, what a goal. What a goal to Tim Nottingham.
How good was that?
Wakeland doesn't like it. He says it's a point.
I reckon it was a point too.
No doubt. That was dead set point.
Absolute point.
8-7-55 the Lions. The Power. 7-7-49 Commonwealth Bank scoreboard. What a grand final.
I tell you what, read the paper in the morning and it'll be a goal.
Yeah, but it wasn't a goal. It was a point, quite clearly.
Not sitting here, it wasn't a goal.
Power goes to Notting. That's missed by a big margin. And Notting knows he's missed it. He would have kicked it.
Notting didn't celebrate whatsoever.
He didn't celebrate, didn't acknowledge it one little bit. What a game of football. Lions 8-7-55. The Power 7-7-49. It's 5-double AFL. The bounce down. Big men go it again. Up they go. Brogan, Keating. Into the square it goes. Voss works hard. Body over the football. Can't get it out. Hartwick's in there. Spills out to Roger James. James now up towards Treadray. Go. Got it. Yes. Treadray on 50. Treadray around his body. Pickett by himself. Can't take the mark. Spills out the back. Notting again. Kicks off the ground. Goes to heavy traffic there. And a free kick. No. Free kick.
Yeah,
over the shoulder.
Voss got him high.
And a free kick will go to the Power. Is it Choppy?
Yeah, Byron Pickett.
Choppy gets up. Looks like he's been hit by a 10-ton truck. And then run over by a 20-ton truck. Gets up, takes the footy.
Gee.
Have a look at him. Fair dinkum. And we watch Choppy now. Can he level the scores once again?
Kick number 11 coming up. He's kicked 2 goals so far.
He is hurt. He is hurt. He's put the football down. He needs, he's sucking in the wind.
Well, this is the experience of Byron Pickett, and it doesn't have to kick at his full distance. He'll kick from just inside 50, which is certainly within his range.
Choppy now. Will kick from just inside 50, as Russell has told you. Punt road end, bang. Looks good, looks good, looks very good. He has kicked it. Scores tied away again. 8-7 apiece on the Commonwealth Bank scoreboard. Russell, what an absolute belter.
Where these are the two best teams in the competition. I reckon there's a bit of gap to third and fourth. Other clubs have to lift to this level, and grand final day to be level pegging 10-minute marks of the third quarter. This crowd has gone absolutely over the top. Byron Pickett, super with his third goal.
Comments there from Russel Ebert.
What a game.
One of the men who played a massive part in getting this club to where it is. They're now in an AFL grand final. Scores are tied away. 8.5 minutes gone third term as we wait for the umpire to bounce the ball. Brogan's lifted in the middle. He's been good early in this third term in opposition to Keating, who played a wonderful first half for the Lions. Umpire to bounce the footy now. Taking a heap of time. Now he does. Bounce down. Again, it's a good bounce. Straight up. Keating got the better. Brogan was in there too. James goes to ground. Josh Carr tries to burst through. Lappin wrapped him up in a tackle. Umpire to pull him up again right by the centre circle.
I like Port Adelaide, the way they've just kept coming and coming and coming.
They're tackling well early in this third term. The pressure's been good from the power. Brisbane equally good though. We keep saying what a great side they are. They can withstand it. Brogan's held in the ruck contest, but Brisbane force it forward. It comes to Brown. He cleverly taps it on. Power was there. Voss now looks for Ackermanis. That's a clever kick. Bradshaw takes the mark in front of Bishop. Bradshaw's too good.
Class.
Mark number 10.
He's taken 10 grabs. Can you believe that?
Well, he has Matthew Bishop. Matthew Bishop, one of the quickest players at the power, but just the way they work the ball, chip the ball up and give their teammate every opportunity. Bradshaw was off like a startled rabbit in front of Matthew Bishop, and then has taken a good gutsy mark.
Gee, they run hard when they come out of the middle. Ackermanis was off as well, but it was Bradshaw that took the mark. On his way in now. Good-looking kick. Straight through the middle from Bradshaw. The umpire did not move. From 40 metres out, he's nailed it. And they go ahead again by one straight kick. It's goal for goal in the granny. Lions 9-7-61. Port Adelaide 8-7-55. Commonwealth Bank scoreboard.
What a game, Russell Ebert. This is a heart stopper.
Well, Jonathan Brown just got his hand to the ball, belted it forward. Power was swooped onto it, over to Michael Voss, and then he just chipped the ball up. Courage from Jonathan Brown again. Eliminate these silly things that he does, and he's going to be a super player. 3 times premiership player already. Now the power, they've got to answer again.
Well, they have. Russell, they've kept coming all day to their credit. They have. Back in the middle. What a game. I hope you're enjoying it on 5AA. Keating gets the tap. Lappin taps it on. Stolen by Roger James. This way, that way. Goes to Curry's man. Goes to Choppy. Kane Corns. Goes to Peter Burgoyne. Kick a Goldbergs. He doesn't. Right across the face of goals. In fact, out of bounds on the full. And a free kick will be taken on the last line by Lepich.
But once again, a brilliant build-up there.
Sensation.
Brogan involved. Roger James involved there. Kane Corns getting a touch too. Peter Burgoyne, he'll be disappointed with the finish.
Lepich now about to bring the ball back into play. Laid on the mark. This has been a super game thus far. Lepich goes long. Centre wing to the outer side. Pushing and shoving. Brogan off hands. Loose football comes out on this occasion to watch Thurston's. He can't do much with it. Oh, gee whiz. Carousel and Voss was great. Voss was sensational. Out towards Jonathan Brown. He can't take it the first time. Does brilliantly, but the handball's loose. Gee whiz, try and get a kick out there. Comes to James. Thought about the handball. Comes inside. Brilliant. Goes to Wanganeen. This is a wonderful game. Here we see Wanganeen with the football in the middle of the G. We'll go over the top. Oh, Wanganeen in trouble. Gone. No, gets the kick away. Chance for Wilbur Wilson. Wilbur Wilson pirouettes. Goes to Matthew Bishop. Matthew Bishop back towards centre wing. Pushing and shoving back there. Almost to Mark Tradders. Great recovery. Tradders over the top. Goes to Peter Burgoyne. Do better this time, Peter. Puts it up towards goal. Up to the front of the square. It's the right placement. Off hands it goes. Loose football. It's a chance for the power. Can they gain possession? Cars in there. They can't. The Lions bottle it up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And a bounce down will take place. place. A free kick, who to?
No. Cassisi just took the ball to ground.
And a bounce down on the point of the square.
Well, we're seeing the real good Port Adelaide players fumble here. I couldn't believe what Wangas was doing in the middle. Nevertheless, the bounce down now. Lade will do the ruck work about 20 out from Port Adelaide's goal. He taps it to their advantage. It'll go to the boundary line. Will it go out of play? No. Port Adelaide keep it in through Brogan. It's hugging the line. Voss handballs in. He keeps it in. He gets it about 20 metres along the boundary line. His handball goes out of play. We'll have a throw in 40 around for the Port Adelaide goal.
Gee, how good are Michael Voss's hands under pressure. And
he's strong.
He just puts his body in there and just sets up the play.
He is so strong. The throw in now. Port Adelaide deep into attack. In fact, it's only about 25 around from their goal.
McLaren on the ground.
Lade and McLaren do the ruck work. Lade sits under it. Got the tap to the front of the pack. Power was there working hard. Wrapped up in the tackle. He claimed the ball, but the umpire says no. Held to him. And we will have a ball up. Again, it's about 30 out from the Port Adelaide goal. Over towards the right half forward flank.
This is the Premiership quarter. Premiership quarter.
Remains to be seen. Lade gets up high again. Got the tap down. Dew pulled off the ball. Umpire said no. Play it on. Dew goes in hard. Johnson tackles hard for Brisbane. The All-Australian wraps it up. Umpire to ball it up again. Similar position. It's about 35 out from the Port Adelaide goal now.
Fair dinkum.
Perfect conditions here. Great game of football. The two best teams you're likely to see. Again, it's Lade in opposition to McLaren. He tries to build it forward towards the goal square. It's all Brisbane, though. They come out of defence with numbers running. Over the series of handballs, it comes over the top for Brad Scott. Lifts the eyes. Montgomery wraps him up towards the boundary line. Got the handball back. Quick clearing kick, though, under pressure. Goes straight to Roger James, who's at centre wing for the Power. He looks to get on with it straight away. Goes to the middle where Wanganeen's loose. Wanganeen has got Peter Burgoyne short. Squares up with the right foot kick and finds Peter Burgoyne. On the lead now is Thurston's leading hard. He kicks to the space. White, that is courage. Courageous Mark Darryl White. Oh, he came into the side this week with the injury. Akermanis takes a big grab at centre wing.
Akermanis, wonderful mark at centre wing.
Just his pace.
Might actually sing this game of football. Akermanis up towards the big man Brown in front. Can't take the grab. Loose football. And in fact, it goes out of play. No, they keep it in play. And the handball's loose, though. Goes to Peter Burgoyne. Goes to Kane Corns. Goes to Roger James on the defensive side of centre. James now has the footy. Look for options downfield, none forthcoming. They've closed it up the lines momentarily. Roger James. It's the Lions by one straight goal on the Commonwealth Bank scoreboard. James goes out wide. Chance for Carr being held by Akermanis. Play on, says the umpire. Akermanis was being held. Akermanis taps the ball towards the line. They were both being held. I reckon the umpires have only brought one Acme Thunder out there today amongst the three of them. They have let the game go. I don't mind telling. Throw in. Slightly on the attacking side for the Power.
Port Adelaide threatening to go forward again. They've gone forward a lot in this term, but for no return. Thurston does a ruck work over the back. Kane Corns was there. Lade punches it forward. Port Adelaide gain about 20 metres. It goes to the boundary line. They've worked it inside their forward 50. Throw in now 40 metres around from goal. Left half forward flank for the Power. This ground is jam-packed. Everyone is screaming and yelling. Atmosphere incredible here. Electric, as you'd expect for a grand final of this magnitude. Lade does the ruck work in front of McLaren. Brings it to the front of the pack, but it's all Brisbane. Loose handball, though. They've got the numbers across half-back. Johnson will come out. Chris Johnson it is. Throws it onto the left boot. No one in the middle of the ground. It'll bounce. It's a loose footy. Pickett gets there. Wilson's there for Port Adelaide. Big
Wilson
Shepherd off the ball. Wilson won the footy, and Pickett got rid of a couple.
Michael! Gone!
Port Adelaide are making mistakes. Wilson ran into trouble, and the turnover for holding the ball. Now the Lions run hard. Carousel is loose at centre wing. Gets an unkind bounce. Can't keep it in. Yes, can. Now the short pass for Black. Kane Corns came over the top. Got the fist away. Brown turns Chad inside out. Then he's tackled by Cassisi, and the umpire surely will come in and bounce. How hard is this?
Just the indecision there once again. Gavin Wanganeen's done it a couple of times. Michael Wilson would normally just put the throttle down and maybe bounce once and then go long to goal.
Bounce down outside 50th occasion for the Lions, thumped away. Chance now for the Lions up towards
Lappin.
Lappin, a horrible kick, and it's gone out of bounds on the full, is it? Yes. And Matthew Bishop will take the free kick. Matthew Bishop will take the free kick.
Gee, Lee Matthews is showing a lot of faith in Alistair Lynch. He's back out there on Darryl Wakeland, but hasn't had an impact on the game.
Chad Corns gives Bishop the lead. That's the way he goes.
Lynch still hasn't had an effective possession in the match.
It's tucked away in the back pocket. He's going to go short to Cassisi. Takes the mark.
He's had some effective touches though, Laurie.
Yeah, you're right there, Russ.
Cassisi now.
Chin.
Cassisi looks to square it up, decides to go long. Up towards Treadray, thumped away. Ackermanis comes out, can't take the football. It's a loose footy. Gee whiz, the Lions now with a chance. A chance for Kane Corns. He's wrapped up, gets the handball. It's aerial ping pong. Treaders does well. What was the kick? Back towards centre wing, but stays in. Montgomery a chance, but it doesn't. Spills out of play. Throw in centre wing out of side.
How can they keep this tempo
They
up
can't.
there?
The Lions 9-7-61. Port Adelaide 8-7-55. Commonwealth Bank scoreboard.
And it should play into the Power's hands. I think they'd have a little bit left, but gee, they've all used up all their petrol tickets.
James goes off for Port Adelaide.
Voss off for Brisbane, Ditts.
17.5 minutes gone.
He went up forward and was matched up with Michael Wilson just before.
17.5 gone, third term. It favours the Lions again. It comes over the back. They've got the running players, but they're making mistakes now, the Lions. Handball back to Carousel and missed the target. Scott it is from halfback. He now steadies things. He's a good player. McLaren drops the mark at centre wing. Can Lade wrap him up? He does. Forces a turnover. Marnie's a chance. Can he keep it in? Yes. Hits the ground running, Marnie. Now the lead is on up forward. Thurston's in front. Couldn't take the mark. It spilled out of his hands. Just keeps it in play. Goes to the front of the goal square. Port Adelaide to build it to the goal square. No, it goes out of play, and we'll have a throw in. Brogan was back there for the Power. Throw in the left forward pocket for the Power. This is a war of attrition. This
Terrific
is tough and hard.
Warren Treadray just all body, but couldn't hug it into his chest and had to play it on.
Throw in now, Lade with McLaren. Lade takes it out of the air, left foot snap it, goal! Oh, it didn't get there, Lepich got in the way, Port a chance, Brogan! No, he dropped the ball, he picked it up, it spilled out of his hands, goes through for the rush behind. Port Adelaide now go to 8-8-56, Lions 9-7-61, Commonwealth Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, Dean Brogan will be just disappointed with his hands, usually pretty good part of his game from his basketball background, but he's just lifted his eyes off the ball a couple of times before he took it, but an ideal opportunity then to grab it and kick a goal.
Johnson now for the Lions, goes long, straight down the middle. Look at this. Gee whiz, Notting by himself takes the mark. How did he get loose? Notting. Somehow he did. What's he going to? He's going to stuff this up, Notting. Runs past the play on the mark, which is late, has a bounce. Kicks up towards full forward. Brown's got him. Got Brown, gee whiz.
5 marks for Brown.
Brown now, Jonathan Brown has the mark inside 50. They lead by 5 points, the Lions.
Brisbane have been inside 50 6 times. Port have been in 9 this quarter.
No certainty to kick this. No certainty to kick it.
Certainly with a crook knee.
Exactly.
Usually you'd go back and you'd mark it down, but he would have had some injections there. He fell over a couple of times, which means he hasn't got 100% control of that right leg. But gee, pressure situations, Jonathan Brown usually stands up.
Keating on, McLaren off. Wait for the kick now. Jonathan Brown very close to the man on the mark. He has kick missed. He has missed it. So the Lions go to 9-8-62. Port Adelaide 8-8-56. It's a 6-point ball game. Russel Ebert.
Oh, it's played at an absolutely hectic pace, and just a couple of bounces of the ball, a couple of little indecisions, a couple of turnovers will be the difference in this game.
Bishop plays onto himself, so he'll kick it well outside the 50 and does. Goes to the centre square, Lade, Keating up there, all the tools are there. Off hands, Lappin was brilliant to Black to Ackermanis. Ackermanis drops it, went to kick it and then decided not to. He dropped it. Now Peter Burgoyne out of the middle. Byron Pickett now. Port Adelaide, they're not running. Get their players down there. Now a lead at half forward. It's Thurston's. He's got to beat a couple. Taps it over clever to Schofield. Schofield not indecisive this time. Got it to Montgomery. Montgomery kicks forward quickly. And the mark. Marnie got away from Johnson and he's taken the chest mark. Oh, Ackermanis.
He
We
tried
are
to be
seeing
too fancy.
the superstars of the game, Russell, are making mistakes we've never, ever seen before.
Well, he was trying to be too Larry. He was just going to hold possession of the ball and then dance around. You can't do that in grand finals. Peter Burgoyne got hold of it in the end and chipped it across to Byron Pickett. In the end, it came to Josh Marnie. He took a terrific chest mark under real pressure.
This to level it for the 3rd time this quarter.
Marnie, he's 30 metres out, straight out in front. He's been good for Port Adelaide this year.
Well, this is his dream, is to kick goals in a grand final.
He's on his way in now. What a career for this lad. He's resurrected it this year, and it starts to the left, but it's straight through the middle. Scores a tight away in the grand final as Laurie said. Third time this quarter. What a game of football. This is unbelievable. It's remarkable. 9-8-62 apiece on the Commonwealth scoreboard. The grand final of 2004. It's a bull terror, as KG would say.
Yes, it certainly is a bull terror. Did you name it? It's absolutely unbelievable. Back in the middle, tell you what, 9-8 apiece. What a game of footy. Into the third quarter. Gee whiz, not in neither side giving an inch here. Neither side. The umpire waits for the authority to bounce the footy.
Good play from Jared Schofield there. Didn't hesitate. Got across to Brett Montgomery. He saw Josh Marnie with a couple of metres on Johnson. Johnson plays like that, gives a bit of room. Josh Marnie made him pay.
Umpire about to put the footy down. Kingsley in the middle on this occasion for the power. Brogan, Keating back on. Umpire bounced the football. The big bodies will go to Brogan's a tap. Only as far as Akamanis goes to power. There he is again, getting that hurried kick away. Brown pushed off the football, gets it down. Chance for Montgomery. Goes over the top. It's a loose ball. It's got to be hard here. Brown wraps up Schofield. Bodies over the footy and it's going nowhere at all. And the umpire will bounce down slightly on the attacking side of centre for the Lions.
6 minutes in this quarter to go.
Tied ball game, 9-8 apiece. Cena's set for an absolute crackerjack finish. Bounce down. Fiveaa AFL. Down it goes. Black over the top. Tapped on by Brown. Good work then that occasion. Akamanis, Wilbur Wilson. Look at these two go. Akamanis, Wilbur Wilson. Akamanis back to the point of the square. Bradshaw. Oh, there is also Ledge. Great work by Bishop. Takes the footy. This is terrific stuff. Runs away. Tackled by Costello. Keeps it in play. Picks it up. Over the top. Stewie Jew. Away the power go. Through half back goes Stewie. Has a bounce. Raises the eyes. Chipped it in short. There's a chance now. Thurston goes to Kane Corns. Can they get a major here? Up towards full forward Lady. Someone's taken a grab. No goal. Play on Leppich. Kicked off the ground. What a game of football. Kicked back towards the centre wing area. Marnie's in there. Throws his body over the football. Well done. Gets it out to Choppy. That's Pickett. Up towards it off on Wanganeen. Has taken a mark. I don't believe I'm seeing this, Russel. This is a wonderful game of football.
Terrific play from Josh Marnie just to bang the ball back into play. Byron Pickett, he's cramping up, as a lot of the players will. Now, Gavin Wanganeen, he helped win the game last week with 2 late goals. He's just got to go back and do exactly what Josh Marnie did, and that is to kick a goal.
This to put Port Adelaide in front for the first time since second quarter.
Wanganeen kicks towards goal. It's home. They're in front. Port Adelaide are a goal in front. Port Adelaide 10-8-68. Lions 9-8-62. Put that goal down to Matthew Bishop. Russel Ebert.
Yeah, what a fantastic run down there. He's been working with Darryl Wakeland, with Chad Corns, but he took him on. Blake Carosella ran really, really hard to go with him, but Matthew Bishop had the confidence to run. In the end, Josh Marnie knocked it back in, didn't let it go out of play, knocked it back into Byron Pickett, and then Gavin Wanganeen's taken a mark and kicked a real pressure goal.
The crowd tells the story at the moment. This is what sort of grand final it is. It's deafening the roar here at the MCG. Third quarter, 25 minutes gone. And Port Adelaide are in front by a goal. The one straight kick in this grand final at the moment. The bounce down again. Brogan's been tireless this afternoon. Keating took it out of the air, got it to Akamanis, was good. Akamanis throws it onto the boot. It'll bounce in front of Chad Corns. It beats him. Bradshaw was there to mop up. Oh, around the corner. Brown's on his own. Brown's loose, and he takes the mark in the pocket. That was loose checking Port Adelaide. They need to cover each other. If Chad Corns runs up the ground, someone's got to get back.
A bit stiff, Chad. He got a shocking bounce.
Yeah, he did. He decided to attack it, thinking the ball might just balloon.
He had to do that, Russell.
He had to go.
3:45 left in the third quarter.
So Brown it is, one of the real superstars of the game.
He won't kick this.
The chance to level the scores again in this term.
Don't say that, Coach.
He won't kick this.
He's going to kick from 35 out, but he's right over by the boundary line. On his way in now. The kick from Brown. It drifts across goal. It goes right across goal. And it's out on the full. It's not happening for the Lions. KG called correctly.
For the first time in my life.
Great call from Kim Cunningham. What a time to call it. They come across goal to Schofield. Schofield takes the mark. Risky little kick, but it paid off. And now running hard is Kingsley towards the flank. Beautiful kick. Oh, what a kick. In heavy traffic. Kingsley does the right thing. Good. He gets on with it straight away towards Marnie. Oh, Marnie nearly the mark of the day. Brown comes in though. In the back. Oh, Marnie will get a free kick. It is happening for Port Adelaide at the moment, but a long way to go. Long way to go. On the hard lead now. Thurstons gets it on the bounce. Great pickup. No, he's lost it again. And he bottles it up. He did well. Port Adelaide got the numbers around the ball. Can they win it? At ground level, Cassisi tackling hard now. Kingsley goes in as well. McRae was there for Brisbane. Likewise, Johnson. And the umpire will ball it up centre wing in front of the great Southern stand.
Porter winning that ball in the packs there, Russell, the hard ball.
The bounce of the ball's going to them. They're attacking it, and pretty good skills at the moment.
Right in front of the great Southern stand, an opportunity now, trying to work it away. A chance now for Power. They can't quite get the football. Pushing and shoving. Umpire calls play on. Spills out the back. Carousel falls over. Thurstons doesn't. That was too easy. Thurstons now takes the football. A golden opportunity for the Power. And Mark Treadray almost no. But he's over the football into attacking going. What's the umpire going to do? He's going to bounce down. About 10 metres out from the Power goal. They lead by 6 points on the Commonwealth Bank scoreboard.
2 minutes to go.
Lynch and Black both on the interchange for the Lions. Not good signs for them.
No, not at all. Wait on now. Blade over the top, taps it out. Stewie G went without it. Here's a chance. Stuart Burgoyne. He's kicked the goal. A goal, then 2 goals. It's front. Unbelievable stuff. It's the Power 11-8-74. The Lions 9-8-62. I reckon they look good, Russell.
Yeah, terrific play. Another good tap from Brendan Lade there. And Stewie G ran over the ball, but Sean Burgoyne, chasing Jason Ackermanis, was there for the goal and just walked in the end. Terrific tap by Brendan Lade.
Listen to this.
They've gone nuts. That's a big lead now, given the circumstances of this game.
They need to go on with it. Another one would be good before three-quarter time. You've got to put teams away. This team is too good. Brisbane are a great side. Now we're seeing scenes on the TV here of Alberton Oval. They are going nuts.
Why wouldn't you?
Thousands of them back at Alberton. It's a shame they couldn't be here, but they're having a great time as well. The umpire to bounce it again in the middle. Brisbane won the last takeaway through Ackermanis. Can Port Adelaide do better this time? It favours Brogan. Got it down towards Roger James, who left it behind. Now Brisbane rush it forward again. High tackle. No. High on, says the umpire. G. McRae was caught high.
Going to pay it.
And umpire says he'll come in and pull it up. And McRae holds his mouth. I reckon he copped an accidental one in the jaw.
Gee whiz. He did in the tackle.
Umpire to ball it up, but it was accidental, and that's the sort of game. That's how hard this game has
that's
been.
a free kick. Shocking.
Pike going silly.
Keating now belts it forward, only as far as Hadley, who was tackled well. Peter Burgoyne throws it onto his boot towards the centre circle now. Sitting under it, Dew couldn't take the marker, bounced off his chest, but he won it. Got the handle to Marty. Marty runs forward, goes hard towards Wanganeen. Wanganeen turns and runs.
Too good.
Open goal. Port Adelaide by 2.
3.
By 3. The Power by 3. Wanganeen open goal, and Stewie Dew was important there.
They're too good, Russell.
Got terrific touch there. They're very, very fit. They're hard at the ball, playing on adrenaline at the moment, and the Brisbane Lions, never underestimate them, but there's a few heads down.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Is their appetite being satisfied with 3? Have they just had too hard a program? The Power right on the ball. Stewie Dew's hands over to Josh Marnie were terrific. His kick up to Scott Brothers went too high and too early. Gavin Wanganeen walks into it.
Port Adelaide have kicked the last 4 goals.
Gee whiz, back in the middle. I think they're good signs. I know we've got a quarter to go, but they lead by 3. They're good signs here for the Power. Bounce down the middle of the G. The big men going at Keating, Brogan. Oh, gee whiz, they go again, the Lions. Through Ackermanis, a wobbly old kick. Up towards Brown, thumped away by Wakeman. Terrific defence. Coming out Hadley, but it's Montgomery. They're too good at the moment, the Power. Back towards centre wing. Oh, gee whiz, 2-on-1 here. Off hands with the mark being paid. No. Comes to Power. Power around his body. Hadley's the player. Takes the grab. Not a good handball. Puts Calicero under the pump. Goes to Martin Pike. Too slow. Martin Pike just gets a kick away. Ackermanis this way, that way. Will he kick a miraculous goal? Ackermanis missed. He's missed. He has missed.
Keating was available in the midfield there. Ackermanis tried to kick the miraculous goal.
That might just hurt him. 9-9-63. Port Adelaide 12-8-80. Commonwealth Bank scoreboard. Bishop kicks off. Chad Corns will mark this. Does so.
Gee, they're confident. He went to Chad Corns, who had a couple of lines around him. That's how confident the Power are at the moment.
20 seconds.
And Chad soared high up and took the mark. Telling mark at halfback. As Chad Corns just milks the clock. He's not too good, Chad. He might have a bit of a sore leg here. He's taking plenty of time.
It down.
Taking plenty of time.
5 seconds to go.
So we will go into three-quarter time now. The long kick towards centre wing. High, getting under it, Brogan. There it is. What a quarter for the Power. Russel Ebert called it the premiership quarter. Have they set it up? Have they set up for the 2004 AFL Premiership? KG at three-quarter time.
Yes, it is, Dish, and a wonderful quarter by the Power there. They have a 17-point ball game at three-quarter time. The Power 12-8-80, the Lions 9-9-63. And before we go to a break, Russell, there were some positive signs there for the Power.
Well, they certainly were, and players have really worked hard around the packs, and their ability in heavy traffic has been terrific. Good delivery of the ball to the forward line. They're just making things happen for each other out there. The Lions are under real pressure now, struggling with their goals, and the Power having kicked the last four, they go into this three-quarter time break with the real momentum to come home in the last quarter.
Okay, at three-quarter time here, it is Port Adelaide 12-8-80, leading the Lions 9-9-63, a margin of 17 points on the Commonwealth Bank scoreboard.
They came from 23 points down to defeat Hawthorn. It would take a near miracle, but Brisbane have got plenty of miracle workers, and they've spent some time on the bench in the third quarter, so they should be at full fitness. Luke Power. Leppich makes his strong lead. Great double-fisted spoil came from Wilson. They've got Ackermanis as well. Hadley, but the determination of the Port Adelaide players today has been a sight to behold, and you wouldn't think it would stop yet.
And Richard Hadley should have let Ackermanis have right of way at this football. Ackermanis is ready to get it, and you can just see Hadley gets his hand on it, rips it away from him.
Brogan palming with purpose, down to Burgoyne, and now Montgomery. Carr pushes to the wing.
Peter Burgoyne has had a terrific second half. At the moment, Nigel Lappin's trying to close him down.
Keating couldn't stop Brogan, neither could Power. And Port Adelaide will be happy.
Now, whilst they've got Leppich up forward, Brisbane, it means that they're under pressure in their own backline because Pike and Darryl White are now playing on tall opponents.
Pike's got laid. That's Treadray there with Michael. Been a great battle, hasn't it? Treadray was terrific early on Leppich.
He's just kicked the one goal, Warren Treadray, but he's presented really well, and I think a lot of the focus has gone on to Treadray, but other Port Adelaide players have come into the picture and been able to kick goals themselves.
Keating and Brogan, Peter Burgoyne been very good. Schofield, Wanganeen from behind here has to spoil. Johnson took his time. Wanganeen will kick another, and the Power are on their way. It's coming apart for the Lions. We never thought we'd hear ourselves say it, but it's happening.
Just the slightest bit of hesitation on Chris Johnson's behalf, and the tackler wraps him up. Ball spills free. Well done, Sean Burgoyne. Laid across to Wanganeen, and I don't think the Lions will be able to get up now.
Her thunderous and sustained roar around the MCG as Port Adelaide take control in the 2004 Grand Final.
Umpire waits to put the footy down. Almost history in the making. They go up high. Keating with the tap, goes to Lappin. He's under the pump, gets it back to Keating. Smothered magnificently by the Power. Held the ball in the centre circle. They're the things that win footy games, and they're the things they're doing.
Roger
James with the smother. Yeah. Back in the middle of the G.
Terrific smother from Roger James. Always thinking, always alert.
It'll be party time at Alberton. Woohoo! Bounce down. Big men will go to it again. Thumped away, Boss. Goes to Notting. Notting's got no one to give it to. Goes back to Boss. He's under the pump. They lose it. Chad calls Peter Burgoyne. This is wonderful stuff. Goes to Schofield. Schofield now. Goes short. Got him, Montgomery. They're playing sensational football, the Power. This is Fiveaa AFL. I hope you're enjoying it. It's Montgomery up towards full forward. Pike will take the mark on the last line of defence. Poor old lady almost had his pants pulled down. They go short to Lappin. Drops the mark. Things not happening for the Lions at the moment. He goes short. This occasion finds that is Brad Scott. Brad Scott tucked away in the pocket.
Well, Chris Scott was having a wrestle with Gavin Wanganeen.
He goes into the middle. Turnover, Thurston's almost to mark Peter Burgoyne. You can hurt him, Bergs. Kicks long.
Coming back.
Coming back. What for?
Coming back.
What's happened here?
Well, there was a whistle at centre half back, I think.
What's happened here?
Paid the mark to Thurstons, I think.
Yeah, mark to Thurstons, I
Mark
believe.
the Thurstons. Gee, I didn't reckon he held that. But nevertheless, take them all. So Thurstons comes back with the mark's been paid. Brad Scott is asking the umpire what for. I don't think that was the mark, but nevertheless, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. Thurstons now. He's a booming kick.
Chris Scott and Wanganeen having a bit of a toe-to-toe before.
They were.
Johnson having a bit of an argument with the umpire there. But Thurstons now. Gee whiz. They've got the roll of the dice, the power, I can tell you. Arnie's out there. He's been told to nick off by the umpire. He's been told, Arnie, nick off. Not the first time.
Not the first time.
He'd be used to it. He goes short and finds Cassisi. Cassisi now back in the middle of the G. Power now lead by 23 points.
No one forward to centre for Brisbane.
On the Bro Hotel scoreboard, puts it long. Brogan presents himself. Brogan almost the mark. Spills out the back, nodding. He's run into Jack Kane Cords. Gets the handball. I've lost it. Wanganeen again. Don't tell me. Wanganeen.
Oh!
Wanganeen has better to go. Another one for Wangers. What a day at the G. What a day. They're home. Wanganeen sees Port Adelaide 14-8-92. The Lions 9-9-63. Russel, Ebert, how do you feel?
Just absolutely sensational. Notting, who's been a good player. Kane Corns' tackle on him caused the turnover. Brett Montgomery's quick hands to Gavin Wanganeen. And gee, you talk about champions standing up on the big day. Gavin Wanganeen's done it before. And gee, hasn't he been sensational?
Unbelievable.
14 kicks, 4 goals, 1, 6 marks for Southland and North East Mitsubishi.
Oh, Norm Smith possibly.
Put on the
Back to
dancing
ground
shoes, the power. Put on the dancing shoes at Albert.
Not yet.
Put them on.
Let's finish this final term. Long, long way to go. We've played 6.5 minutes. Gee, there's a long way to go. This Brisbane side's good. Back in the middle now. Brogan runs at it again with Keating. What a battle they've had. Carr out of the middle, bangs it onto the boot towards half forward. Pickett and Johnson.
My God,
run at it.
can't run.
Coming through Notting. This bloke's played a great game. His handball goes straight to Roger James. James intercepted. Now he's wrapped up holding the ball. Umpire gave him forever to get rid of it.
That's in the
Should have
back.
been holding the ball. Now it's in the back to Brisbane, and that's fair enough too. Gee whiz.
Look at that commander screaming for it.
Porter kicked the last 6 goals of the match.
Brad Scott has the free kick now, goes towards centre wing to Voss, his captain. What a player this man is, and what a player he's been. Goes towards half forward now, into the sunshine. The players shooting their eyes over the back. Lappin a chance. He couldn't keep the ball in. He ran out of the... He could not raise a gallop then, Lappin, and that's not rubbishing the man, because doesn't he run forever and ever, and that tells you how much he's given this afternoon. The ball is out of play, just outside the 50 for Brisbane. 51 metres around from their goal. It's Port Adelaide 14-8, Brisbane 9-9 in the grand final of 2004. Port Adelaide a chance to go forward now. Pushed in the back. No, it comes to Lade. Lade, good handball back to Corns. His kick smothered, but it'll find the boundary line right by the interchange gate, centre wing on the outer side, where the members used to be here. It used to be the members' side of the MCG. And we will have a throw-in.
The Powers' work around the stoppages has been just incredible, and no matter who wins the tap, the Power players have got their hands to the ball on most occasions.
The throw-in. Lade's got into the ruck now. Keating still a lion-hearted effort from him. The Lions a chance to rush it forward. Good tackling though. It's Kane Corns tackling Black. Doesn't allow Black to go anywhere. Montgomery comes in to help out. Gee, Montgomery's played a great game. He's lifted in this second half as well.
Super game after all the disappointments of preliminary finals. Brett Montgomery can really taste this one right now.
The bounce down, centre wing out of side. Lade gets his hands, and they work it away. A chance now for Notting. Notting has a bounce, runs to 50, kicks long, goes bang towards goal, and he has missed. Only a minor score. Lions go to 9-10-64. Port Adelaide 14-8-92 on the Barrow Hotel scoreboard. Put your dancing shoes on, the Power. What a week in Adelaide it's going to be for the Port Adelaide supporters. The kick in by Bishop now. Kicks to the outer side. Scott's there, so is Wakeland. Wakeland, this is it. Everything's going for the Power, and Wakeland takes a mark on the half-back flank. Goes with the handball, but he's got to go back. Now finally goes the handball to Scully. Scully goes into the middle. Kane Cords goes through his hands, spills out the back. Akermanis over the top, goes to Bradshaw. Bradshaw he's kicked the goal. Bradshaw has kicked the goal. Lions go to 10-10-70. Port Adelaide 14-8-92. 22-point ball game on the Fiveaa Hotel scoreboard. Russel Ebert.
Well, all over the ground, the Lions players are looking at each other. They're pleading for another effort. Just a mistake inboard there. Kane Corns couldn't get his hands on the Jared Schofield kick over to Bradshaw. He doesn't miss opportunities like that. These Lions, they won't lie down. The bounce of the ball's going with the power, but they've just got to finish it off.
Brisbane's first goal since the 9-minute mark of the third term.
Gee.
Come on, there's so much further to go here yet. Port Adelaide, they can't stop. They've got to keep going. They're playing one of the great sides of all time. Umpire Brett Allen to bounce it in the middle. Brogan again with Keating. They crash into each other. They'll be sore at the end of this. Coming away, Peter Burgoyne, but Voss won the footy. He sets the Lions running with a long raking handball, but Wilson got there first. Turns backwards to Schofield. Schofield falls over. Got the handball away just. Peter Burgoyne runs into his own teammate. Then got a handball to Kane Corns. Corns now just boots it out of the area. It goes high to centre wing. In the back, no, says the umpire. Gee, they jump right into Byron Pickett.
Oh, high tackle.
Voss.
Oh, the umpire's been terrible.
Oh, Brogan.
That was a shocking decision.
50. Oh, Mal Michael, quite brilliant the way he trapped the ball at half-back. And now he kicks to centre wing. Great kick. Great play, Mal Michael. Lappin will turn and run. Goes hard. And the mark has been taken by Bradshaw.
Bradshaw's the worry.
That was a free kick back to Den.
11 marks for Bradshaw.
Graceful umpiring.
Bradshaw's outside the 50 with this kick, but he is a great kick of the ball, and he's an accurate kick of the ball. He kicked one just moments ago. On his way in now, Bradshaw, 52 metres out, the kick, it'll get the distance, will it? Right on the line.
Post.
Touch and hit the post. Oh, let off for the power here. Early in this final term, we've played 10 and a half minutes. Port Adelaide 14-8-92. Lead the Lions 10-11-71. Fiveaa Hotel scoreboard.
21-point margin. Goes short, finds Chad Corns. Tucked away in the back pocket. Chad Corns now, bright sunshine here at the G. 21 points, the power in front. Chad goes to the handball, goes to Scully. Scully now is going to be run down, finally gets the kick away. Goes out wide, and the mark has been taken here by Bishop. Bishop now, half-back flank on the outer side.
Kane Corns.
Kicks back towards Kane Corns. Over the top, thumped away, goes to Brogan, but he'll get a free kick.
In the back.
Kane Corns will get the free kick. Oh, loose players. Choppy's loose. Choppy, take the grab, he does. The build up here for the power. Looking at Schofield.
Schofield's run hard.
Gone into
He
the
has.
open space. He has. Schofield's taken the mark. They lead by 21 points.
Now, Schofield was in the back pocket moments ago. That's a great effort to get down there, isn't it?
He's run hard.
Schofield now goes over the top to Josh Carr. The kick didn't find the body. Takes on the first bounce. Josh, make a hero of yourself, son. Oh, it's a
Good
shocking
pass.
kick. Great pass to
Good pass.
Thurston. Off the side of the boot. Straight into the arms of Thurston. And he's marked about 35 metres directly in front. Well, talk about being kissed on the you-know-what by the proverbial, by a fairy.
Just saw him out the corner of his eye and realised he was in a better position. Kicked him off
Toby
the side of his
Thurston's
boot.
now. He kicks this. They lead by 21 points. This will make it, 27 points we've played. Is that 10 minutes into the... 12 minutes into the final term. Can't see the clock from our commentary spot. You've got to lower yourself to ground level. Thurston's, more importantly, gets the kick away. And he has kicked it. He has kicked the goal. And I bet they've gone nuts at Albert. Have a look at them. They have gone absolutely nuts. That's his third. They've gone nuts. And it's Port Adelaide now, 15-8-98. The Lions 10-11-71 on the Fiveaa Hotel scoreboard.
Well, once again, it was the confidence of Josh Carr with his leg power to take the Brisbane Lions on there. He did that, and okay, the kick went off the side of his boot, but that's alertness. Toby Thurston was there, and he's just rocked back and kicked the goal there. And very, very difficult for any side to kick 5 goals to get back from a place like this.
6 kicks, 3 goals, 1 for Toby Thurston.
Oh, Fiveaa Hotel scoreboard. Port Adelaide 15-8-98. Lions at 10-11-71. 27 points the difference in the middle again. Brogan gets it down to Roger
Too
James.
good.
James to Josh Carr. Carr out of the middle. Terrible kick to centre wing. Sean Burgoyne with him, Copeland. Burgoyne turns him inside out. Then Copeland regains him and tackled him beautifully. The handball comes out to Peter Burgoyne. Peter will go inside with the handball. Stuart Dew from 49 metres. Front of the goal square. and he's missed this time. Through for the minor score. Your heart is in your mouth here at the MCG.
What are you worried about, Dick?
Terry Dew just can't believe it. That's a couple of shots that he's had that he would regularly kick, and he just can't believe that he can't seal this game.
Now the attendance, I can't believe this. 77,671. That's got to be a mistake. This is the loudest crowd I've heard. Port Adelaide 15-9, Lions 10-11.
As we see Johnson with the kick and goes out towards Lepich and Treadray. Lepich in front, pushed off the ball by Treadray, and the ball spills out of play. Throw in outside 50 for the Power. Outside 50 for the Power. They lead by 28 points on the Hotel Barreau scoreboard.
11 minutes, 23 seconds of real time left.
Gone. Put on the dancing shoes, Dits. She's party time back home in Adelaide.
You haven't seen me dance.
I have. You're a shocker. There's Keating, gets it down. Opportunity now for Power to come away. Can't do so. And the ball spills out of play once again. That doesn't matter. Time is ticking away now. Outside 50 for the Power. Tell you what, they'll go absolutely nuts when that final siren goes. Throw in outside 50.
A lot of the Brisbane Lions players are just running on empty now.
Yep.
They're just running on instinct.
Keating and Lade contest it. Lade gets his hands to the football into a pack of players. Copeland gets a handball out wide back to Voss. Voss now back towards centre wing. Brown, the kick won't carry. And Chad Corns has taken the mark. Corns, is it Corns? Yes, it is. Chad Corns has taken the mark. Centre wing out of side. They'll run just hard. Take it quiet now. Goes to Choppy Pickett. Pickett now with the ball on the defensive side of centre. We're seeing history in the making here. Port Adelaide about to win their first AFL premiership. Goes short out towards Matthew Bishop. Good weighted kick, finds him. This is coming your way in 5AA AFL. History in the making, folks. Turn up the radio. Enjoy the moment. Out towards Wanganeen, who's been a champ, takes the mark. Wanganeen well outside 50.
7 marks, kick number 15 coming up.
Wanganeen, more importantly, he kicked 4 goals. Lozer?
4 goals, 1 all in the second half.
Wanganeen now just proves you can't keep a champion down. Wanganeen now goes short, the lead on from Marley, but it's a poor kick, and Akamanis chips in. Akamanis takes the mark on the 50-metre defensive line for the Lions.
Never stops trying this bloke. He is a champion, Akamanis. Goes now towards centre wing. Big pack, the tall players are there. Black off hands was good. Handball to Pike. Pike is tackled well. Got rid of the footy quickly. It spills out of play. Good pressure again, Port Adelaide. Would you believe Wanganeen was the tackler at centre wing, and the ball is out in front of the great southern stand here at the G.
And do you reckon Wanganeen's not giving Pike a gobful either?
Yeah, Martin Pike, not his best game. Probably only 5 or 6 possessions, and just not good enough.
Take your hat off to him. He's won 4 premierships, Martin Pike, as a player. Keating and Brogan. Brogan does the roving as well. Keating wraps him up in the tackle. They'll ball it up centre wing. Valuable seconds ticking away now. The clock to 16.5 minutes in this final term, as the umpire will bounce at centre wing. Deafening crowd here. They have witnessed an incredible grand final. Is it the end of an era? Still time left.
No,
the ball down. It comes down to Roger James, who uncharacteristically left it behind. It comes out, the sweeping handball almost to Brogan. Pike's there with him, and again it goes out of play. Just trickles out of play. Pike still working hard. Admirable effort from him, and we'll have a throw in centre wing again.
Will we have Dean Brogan as the only player who's won an NBL championship ring with basketball and a premiership medal with footy?
Yeah, certainly going to. That's going to be that'll be the way.
Comes to Kane Corns off hands, quickly to Kingsley. His kick's not good though. It finds Notting. Brisbane get on with it immediately to Black. Black's got players running at half forward. Power hasn't stopped. He goes with the non-characteristic right foot to the goal square. Over the back, Bradshaw and Wakeland are holding each other. Port Adelaide with the numbers. Wakeland's played a great game. He leads in the race for the ball. He gets it a Pickett.
Choppy, away he goes. Have another bounce, son. He does. Look at those white shoes shining in the sunlight. Go, keep going, Choppy. Up a bounce. Come on, Choppy. Kick it, Choppy. Finally does so. Up to full foot, Treadray. Yes! Treadray the grab. Well done, Choppy. Well done, Daryl Wakeland. Well done, Tedders.
Fat lady time.
Unbelievable stuff. Party time. Put the dancing shoes on. Treadray now.
Run. Superb coolness from Daryl Wakeland. Byron Pickett provided the run, and then to have the poise to deliver after almost cramping up as you run. What a sensational kick. Terrific mark from Warren Treadray.
Treadray lines up. Kick a goal, son. You deserve to do that. Treaders inside 50. Bang with the kick. Look at it go. He has just missed. Only a minor score. Port Adelaide 15-10, 100. The Lions 10-11, 71. A 29-point ball game. and we've played 18 and a half minutes into the final term. Russell Ebert, stop smiling, Dick.
Nearly 5 goals.
I'm not yet. Johnson to kick in now. Johnson goes to the back pocket. Treadray's a chance here. Got over the top, took the mark, hits the ground, plays on. Wanganeen's loose, but it just goes over his head, and it finds Brad Scott. Brad Scott has taken the mark. Port Adelaide were a big chance there again. Now they've got loose players, Brisbane. Leppich will get it at centre wing. Plays on because they have to. They've got to get on with it. He runs away from Sean Burgoyne. That's not easy to do. Voss and Ackermanis are at half. And it bounces right between the two of them, and they've missed it. Now Voss gets it. Ackermanis is run on. He gets the handball now. Gets around onto his left. Handball's over the top now. McRae from the flank. And the kick is a shocker. Chad Corns couldn't take the mark. He paddles it over to Kane Corns. Kane Corns just keeps it in. Kicks it back to halfback. Bishop and Pike are under it. They go to ground. Voss is there for Brisbane. And Voss will win the footy now. He's got plenty of time. Squares it up. Pass isn't bad. Getting in the way to take the mark is Peter Burgoyne, who got into the space and showed a ton of courage.
Byron pick it on the wing, but he can't kick it 75 metres, Byron.
Well, he's one player, Peter Burgoyne. People have questioned Peter Burgoyne about his finals effort. He has lifted. All of these players under a cloud have lifted, and they are going to get Port Adelaide over the line, we hope.
7 minutes to go.
Brogan, go short to Choppy. Come on, son. What can you do this time? You weaved some magic a few moments ago. Look at Stewie Dew into the open spaces. Takes the mark. Stewie Dew. Get a welcome home organised, folks. I'll be home tomorrow morning. The new AFL premiers, Stewie Dew. Long kick. Back towards half forward it goes. Treadray, Mal Michael thumped away. Copeland a chance, gets a wobbly kick, back to Stewie Dew, he says thank you very much, and Stewie Dew has taken the mark. We've played over 20 minutes into the final term, and it's the Power by 29 points. Stewie Dew centre wing out of side.
6:20 to go.
Comes inside to Peter Burgoyne, has time, space, runs on, gets the kick. Look at Wanganeen. Wanganeen can't quite take the mark. Jonathan Brown comes out, offloads. Gee whiz, they got slow hands at the moment. There's a chance now for Copeland. Copeland can come back smothered. McLaren's under the pump, gets it to Black. Black around his body, back towards the halfback they go.
Hey!
Came from nowhere, came from the gods, and took a grab. Laid now, outside 50.
Under a cloud with injury, and that is just what adrenaline will do.
21 minutes gone, final term. Power by 29.
5.5 to go.
How courageous.
Laid now, kicks it long to the point of the square. Brogan's there, up high, thumped away off hands. Opportunity now for Black, run down by Kane Corns. In there is Marnie, in there is Power, in there is James, they're all in there. And a bounce down will take place about 25 metres from goal, pushing and shoving. Copeland's in there. Waste of time, fellas, the ball game's over. Bounce down, centre half forward, thumped away, Stewie Dew not favoured by the bounce. Scott goes to McLaren, over the top, there's a chance now, it's the case for Chris Scott. The handball didn't find the target, and Johnson, picked up by Wilbur Wilson. It's all falling for the Power. Choppy kicks to Stewie Dew and he takes the mark.
5 minutes to go.
21, almost 22 minutes gone, final term of the 2004 grand final. I'll let you bring him home, Ditz, as we wait on Stewie Dew.
Well, he's had a couple of opportunities and he's created a couple of goals. Now he's got a chance to kick.
Come on, Ditz, come on, son.
They're home, Ditz.
They're home. Stewie Dew about to kick for goal. Stewie Dew comes in now. Stewie Dew comes in now, taking plenty of time to get the kick away. Does so, very acute angle. Oh, look at this. Look at this. When you are hot, he doesn't dance, throws the arms in the air. He has kicked an unbelievable goal. And that is it. Power, 16 goals, 10, 106. The Lions, 10-11, 71. And Russell, how do you feel?
Well, that's magnificent. Stewie Dew, he just works so hard on his skills. He's been down a little bit in form this year. Michael Wilson over to Byron Pickett, and Byron saw Stewie there. Stewie has really run hard in this quarter. He's covered hundreds and hundreds of metres, and just a just reward for all the time and effort that Stewie's put into his goal kicking to put the final nail in the coffin.
What a goal that was.
Lead by 35 points, Ditz.
Barrow Hotel scoreboard. Oh, I'll tell you what, one of the hotels, the Birkenhead Tavern, go down there during the week. It'll be on down there as well.
Anywhere in the port.
Oh, The bounce down in the middle. 106 plays 71. The power in front. Bounce down. Lade's gone into the ruck with McLaren. Lade got it to Peter Burgoyne. Quick handball back to Lade was magnificent. Lade kicks Port Adelaide into attack. Thurster's in front, couldn't mark. Treadray's in there. The big fish came over the top. It comes to Pickett in the pocket. Pickett from pocket. Oh, minor score. Oh. Gee, he had time to stop and steady. It was a tough little kick. And it goes through for the minor score. Every point handy in a grand final. 16-11-107 the power. The Lions 10-11-71 as Johnson brings the ball back into play for Brisbane. Hats off to this side. We are seeing the end of an era. What an incredible football team Brisbane have been.
Brisbane fans leaving.
The kick in now comes towards Mal Michael. Getting in front of him though, Thurston's well played to Stuart Dew, who's on the flank. Goes short to Kingsley. Kingsley plays on. Left foot kick at goal. Oh my God. Oh,
they're home.
Oh my Godfather, that was incredible. He could have wasted time. He could have stopped and he went bang.
More important to get a goal.
Oh, put him on ice. Put him on ice for respect there because Russell, we're going after some cold ones tomorrow.
Well, terrific play. Dean Brogan provided the contest. Stewie Dew could have had another shot, but saw Adam Kingsley there on his left foot. He's just put a goal through.
I don't care what it is, make it cold. We're coming home with the cup, Ken. We're coming home with the Premiership Cup.
They trailed by 41, 42 points. Bounce down, back in the middle of the G. How long to go, boys? Not long to go.
About 3 to go.
3 to go, the bounce down. Up they go, McLaren, Lade, taken by Carr. Voss wraps him up, going nowhere. And a bounce down in the middle of the MCG. History in the making. Port Adelaide will win their first AFL Premiership. Choco, how will he be feeling at the moment?
There he is on the screen.
Oh, Choco, he would be beside himself. The bounce down free kick is going to go McLaren's way. McLaren now.
Well, Mark said there was unfinished business, and Foster's won premierships, Stevens won premierships, and Mark has been here to play. Wasn't successful, and now as a successful premiership coach.
Goes to Nottingham, he's done it under an enormous amount of pressure. Up towards half forward they go. Off hands, Voss stolen on this occasion by Burgoyne. Has it in the sunshine here at the G. Kicks it back towards Scully, a beautiful weighted kick. Scully takes the grab, turns around. McLaren comes in, he runs past that player. Does it beautifully, goes with a handball. Gee whiz, didn't do it that well.
No.
He did it, actually was shocking actually. McLaren goes back to McRae. McRae up towards Ackermanis, he takes the mark on the attacking side of centre. Ackermanis out wide to little Luke Power. Luke Power takes the mark and he marks about 35 metres out from goal. But it's all over, 26 minutes gone. Port Adelaide will win this and their first AFL Premiership, and you've got to say to Mark Williams, what a sensational performance when you consider the amount of pressure he was under coming into this final series.
Well, just a matter of making the finals and then being successful in finals was all the pressure that built over the...
And Power rubbed salt into the wound. The Power has hit the post. Luke Power has hit the post. The score at the moment, Port Adelaide 17-11-113. The Lions 10-12-72. All over Red Rover, and I tell you what, they'd be nuts at Alberton, Ditts.
And you know how you win a premiership, KG? There are no passengers. To half-time, we talked about players that hadn't done enough, and they've all done their bit in the second half. No passengers in this side whatsoever. The ball now comes out the half-back, and Kingsley's got it. What a move this man made. He came from the Essendon reserves, had never played a senior game. He's won a best and fairest, and now he's won a flag. This kick's not his best, though. It goes to Notting. Notting takes the mark, plays on, and goes goalward, and he's kicked it out on the full. And Russell, things just haven't gone right for Brisbane, have they?
No, they certainly, right from the start of the game, where they tried the intimidation. That didn't work. That just fired up the power players, and they've done a sensational job around the stoppages, in the crunches. They've been stronger, they've been more skillful, and they've been more balanced against the multiple premiership sides.
Thurston's has gone off. Montgomery comes back on. Hardwick's back on the ground for the dying moments as well.
It's his last game.
Port Adelaide now. Bring it in short. Ackermanis got in the way. Did good. Good defensive pressure inside their forward 50. Brisbane a chance in front of goal, and the short chip pass has missed again. The short snap at goal, I should say, has missed their offline, and Brisbane just can't take a trick at the moment.
Damien Hardwick at centre down here in front of us has laughed his head off.
10-13-73, plays 17-11-113. Port Adelaide in control.
Wakeland goes back.
Mark Williams is congratulating the other coaches and the people that have supported him all year in the box. Happy times now.
Stewie Dew.
You really enjoy.
Goes short, finds Wakeland. Wakeland now with the footy. What a victory this has been for the Power. What a victory this has been for the Power. 28 and a half minutes gone. It'll be party time down at Adelaide. Ditts, you better bring him home, son. Being a Port Adelaide man,
there are
bring him home,
thousands
Ditts.
and thousands of
Come on, Ditts.
I can't speak, honestly. I can't.
Bring him home, son. Come on.
Come on, Kingsley. Kingsley at centre half.
Bring him home.
Has to hurry. He plays on the centre wing, and the ball will go out of play. Will it? White gets there. He's happy to see it out of play. He's nonchalant. He's had enough, and you can understand why, because they have been beaten by Port Adelaide here in the grand final of.
Yeah, come on, Ditts. Come on, Ditts.
Any second now.
Bring him home.
Mark Williams he's making his way down to the boundary
And
line.
Matty Primus almost in tears.
Josh Franco.
And it's understandable.
Yeah. Come
what
on,
a great
Ditts.
leader he is. Laid over the back. It comes down.
Bring
to
him
Carr.
home.
Carr bangs it on the boot. Taking it out of the air now, Brogan. He crashes his way
Seconds
through.
to go, Ditts.
Well tackled. Port Adelaide on their way
Give
to
us
their
your
first
best, son.
grand final. The ball now to half forward to the lines and Wanganeen.
Willie had
win it.
a Norm Smith.
Willie.
Come on, look at Choco.
Choco on his way down. He cannot believe it.
Come on, Ditts.
Punches the air.
Crying his eyes out.
He is crying his eyes out. Well done, Choco. We're all crying. I can't
He
believe
is
it.
crying.
I can't believe it.
Come on, Ditts.
Oh,
I hope
Port
Connie
Adelaide.
gets through.
Hey, look at Choco. I've never
Port
seen
Adelaide
this.
and half back.
This is sensational
And
stuff.
Choco throws his arms in the air and says to the crowd, make some noise. And they are.
Seconds remaining.
Port Adelaide.
Look at Choco.
And
there it is. It's over, Ditts. Well done, Ditts. High five, Ditts.
Russel.
Well done, son.
Port Adelaide
Well done.
are the premiers
Well done,
for
Ditts.
2004. Oh,
Sensational stuff.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Oh, look at the players and Choco. Unbelievable sights here. 2004 premiers.
This is what football is all about. Unbridled jubilation around the MCG. And as always, there's a loser. But you can never call the Brisbane Lions losers. Let's get to Andrew Marr.
Thanks very much, Hutto. I'm trying to get to the big fella, Warren Treadray here. Massive scenes down here, as I'm sure you can imagine. Warren, how good does it feel, mate?
Oh, it's great.
You've just won the AFL Premiership, mate. You've just won the flag.
It doesn't seem too real out here. We knew our best was good enough, and today we proved it. Yeah, I don't know if I should say this on the radio, but anyone who doubts us, stick it up their arse, because
Well, I reckon
we're
something.
the best team that's going around at the moment.
At half-time, they threw the gauntlet down, and I guess a lot of people thought they had the momentum. The self-belief must have been tested. You came out magnificently in the second half.
We knew, it sounds arrogant, but we knew their legs were going to... They struggled last week, the last 10 minutes. They didn't run, they held on to the game. And, we'd have pretty good preparation in terms of dry weather and everything. And we knew the legs would get us there, and Andrew Russel and his fitness staff and Choco have done the training, and in the end it pays dividends.
Mate, you won a flag for Port Adelaide in the SANFL about 7 years ago. This has got to be better than that.
Yeah, I was 17 and everything was great, and I could get into a nightclub today. Probably the boys are going to rule the nightclubs.
Fantastic, Ebert. Well done.
As we commence our formal presentations, we firstly acknowledge and thank our premier partner Toyota, represented today by Mr. Alan McGarrigle, Director of the Toyota Motor Corporation of Australia. Well, sadly today wasn't to be the day for the Brisbane Lions. 4 grand final appearances in 4 years. A round of applause for the efforts of the Lions in the round. And I'm going to ask their captain, Michael Voss, to come forward and say a few words.
What a player this man's been, KG.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's an absolute champion. Michael Voss going to the podium now.
And he plays it fair. He's hard, but geez, fair, isn't he?
18 possessions today.
Yeah,
Just wasn't at his quality's best today.
he is a champion.
First of all, of course, I'd like to congratulate Port Power, Mark Williams, Warren Treadray on a fantastic effort. And the boys have been along the mark for, of course, a number of years now and really showed their class today and beat us convincingly. To our club, it's been an incredible ride. I've been full of admiration of the players that I play with, and we had a crack, and we weren't good enough, and Port were sensational on the day. Well done, guys. Thanks to our fans, our sponsors, and the people at our club for brilliantly support. We can't do it without you. Thank you. The captain of the Brisbane Lions Club, Michael Boss, the players will receive a memento medallion of their appearance today in the grand final. 25 years ago, this man was awarded the inaugural Norm Smith Medal. Would you now please welcome former Carlton champion Wayne Harms to present the Norm Smith Medal to the player who left the ground in this year's grand final. And the winner is Byron Pickett.
Byron Pickett.
19 kicks, 10 marks, and finished with 3 goals, 2.
Played well.
Didn't he?
Played very, very well. Carrying his little girl, little baby to the stand for the Norm Smith medal. Well, 3 or 4 players could have won that particular award. Byron was, but he did hurt. Look at that beautiful little girl, his girl.
I just want to say, congratulations to Brisbane. Everybody knows they've been the best side in the last couple of years. So to beat Brisbane is an unbelievable effort, and to the boys' credit out here, they did the job well. I'd like to thank their sponsors, Toyota, especially the boys, and yeah, that's it. And say that in Lakeisha.
What did he say?
He grabbed his little girl and said, "Say hello, Letitia."
It's a beautiful sight.
Well, as you can imagine, it's every young player's dream to be on this dais here on Grand Final Day. We have our young Auskick participants who are going to present the Port Adelaide Football Club players with their premiership medallions. Number 2, Darryl Wakeland.
7 marks for Wakeland today.
Wow, what a game he played. He was on Lynch. Lynch tried to knock him out at one stage and he bounced back beautifully, KG.
Yeah. Tremendous courage.
Wasn't he cool?
Number 3, Brett Montgomery.
17 possessions, 8 marks for Brett.
A lot of heartache on this ground for Brett Montgomery.
My word.
The absolute pinnacle of his career.
Thanks, Brett. Number 4, Gavin Wangan.
16 kicks, 8 marks today. 4 goals, 1 all in the second half.
Oh, he came good when he had to.
When the game had to be won, he was there.
Guilty. Number 5, Brendan Lay.
6 kicks, 4 marks, and kicked the second goal of the match.
He was courageous in the ruck too. Took a great mark in the last quarter.
Number 6, Jared Schofield.
9 possessions, started on the interchange bench.
How many kids has Jared got? They're all going up there. Look at them.
Yeah, we got a big family.
Tribe.
I don't think one of them's his.
That's Pete Burgoyne's little lad. Get him up there. Let him soak it in.
Number 7, Peter Burgoyne.
25 possessions, 6 marks today. Great game.
He was good, Peter Burgoyne.
6 kicks in the first quarter.
Used his pace, got the ball out of the middle on quite a few occasions.
Pleasure.
Number 8, Sean Burgoyne.
9 kicks, 2 handballs. Had a bit of trouble with Ackermanis in the first quarter, but did well.
He did very well, actually.
He has turned into a wonderful player.
Yeah,
how smooth is he?
Ackermanis kicked 3, but he did a good job.
Good goal in the third quarter too.
9, Josh Carr.
Carr, 11 kicks today, 3 hand passes. Kicked the first goal of the match at the 7-minute mark.
Will this be enough to keep him at the club? A lot of work will go into keeping Josh Carr.
Oh, take a whip
Main
round,
man
Russell.
with Roger James in
Number 11,
that engine room.
Damian Hardwick.
Great first quarter, 7 possessions, finished with 13. His final game of AFL footy.
What a way to go out. What a way to go out. Sensational.
Number 15, Byron Higgins.
19 kicks, 3 goals, 2. Say no more.
The Norm Smith medalist.
Wonderful player. He's got 2 medals around his neck.
Couple of lightning runs down the wing.
Stuart Dew.
Stewie Dew, 12 kicks. He had 8 in the last quarter. What a last term for Stewie Dew. Kicked 1 goal, 2.
Number 18, Maine Hall.
21 possessions for Kane.
Well, this kid.
Yeah, 12 kicks, 9 hand passes.
Well, he had a massive job, didn't he? He was
A
on
lot of
Simon
tackles
Black.
too, and a lot of smothers.
Exactly right.
Black only had 14.
Matthew Bishop.
Bishop, 10 kicks today.
Kane Collins was terrific today.
He had a big job, Bishop, on Bradshaw
Number
at times.
20, Dean Brogan.
11 possessions, 4 marks for Dean Brogan.
Gee, a tough battle with Clark Keating right throughout the game.
Number 21, Michael Wilson.
5 possessions for Wilbur Wilson today.
No one knows how tough it's been, Russell, for this man just to get up.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly right. He goes through pain every week. Just epitome of Port Adelaide.
Josh Marnie, 5 kicks, 2 marks, 2 hand passes, and kicked that very, very important goal in the third term to put scores level.
Number 25, Dominic Cassisi.
6 kicks, 3 hand passes, started on the interchange.
Number 28, Toby Thurston.
Took 5 marks, 6 kicks, 3 goals, 1 today.
He did something today, Russell.
He certainly did. Warren Treadray left him a lot of room, and he really, and not only the marks and the kicks that he got, but his second and third effort were terrific by Toby.
Number 29, Adam Kingsley.
9 possessions, the other power player to start on the interchange bench.
Gee, what a story this is for Adam Kingsley. Come from the Essendon reserves.
Yep.
Mark had faith in him. Was told at the start of the year that you're gone to listen. Bingo, look at this.
12 kicks, 2 hand passes, 7 marks. Took 4 in the last quarter.
Had a wonderful year, young Chad.
All Australian centre half back.
Gee, what a big moment for these kids.
Number 38, Roger James.
18 possessions, 12 kicks, 6 handballs.
Been magnificent.
Medal to go with his Norwood flag.
The captain of the Port Adelaide Football Club, number 16, Warren Redford.
1 goal, 2 from 9 kicks, 6 marks for Treaders.
Champion.
What a leader.
He's a champion, Treaders, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you now please welcome legendary coach and Hall of Fame member, John Kennedy, to present the John McHale Medal to the coach of the 2004 Toyota AFL Premiership team, Mark Williams of the Port Adelaide Football Club.
Well done, Choco. This has been a super effort under an enormous amount of pressure. And this is great for the Williams family too. Sensational for the Williams family. No doubt about that. One of the most respected families in
We now have great
South
pleasure
Australia.
in inviting former Port Adelaide champion and Hall of Fame member John Cahill to present the Premiership Cup to the coach
John
of
Cahill
Port
present the
Adelaide
cup.
and the coach, Mark Williams.
Great honour there for John Cahill to present the coach of the cup. And it's a big moment. There it is. It's history. That is history.
What a moment.
What a moment for the Port Adelaide Football Club. Absolutely sensational. 4 marks to the Brisbane Lions. They are only now just leaving the MCG here. They've been a wonderful side. 3 premierships. Weren't quite good enough today. Beaten by a better side, but that, you've got to admire the side as they leave the arena.
Warren Treadray.
Warren Treadray, now the captain of Port Adelaide.
Firstly, I'd like to thank Brisbane. Been sensational for the last 3 seasons, including this year. Today our boys were on, so I'd firstly like to thank the 22 blokes who took the field. Everyone on the left-hand side who supported the group. Matthew Thomas and Josh Franco, through injury, you blokes understand. I want to thank Toyota, sponsor the AFL, Vodafone and Scott's, who are great supporters of ours, all the backroom staff, and I reckon I'm done. Thank you.
Big cheer for Primus
Well,
and
4
Franklin.
marks to the Lions. They held off until the final speech. They're now cheering off. Is it Craig McRae?
First of all, thank everyone.
Who's playing his last game for the Lions.
Also, I'd like to thank the Lions. Obviously, I had a lot to do at the start of them, and I'm very proud of the way that they've finished up. Wonderful side. And the reason it tastes so good today is all because of the way the Lions are set up, their dynasty. They're as hard as hell to beat, and it's as sweet as hell to beat them. We play well because of them. Also, I'd like to thank the AFL for
being the AFL. There's a couple of mentions I'd like to make. Certainly our major sponsor in Vodafone, and Alan Scott, you were wrong.
Oh, Alan Scott, you were wrong. He has stuck it right up, Alan.
Good on him. Good on him.
Go and enjoy the moment with the 2004 Premiers Port Adelaide. Folks, that completes our formal presentation. I'm going to remind you that at Punt Road tonight, there's plenty happening. Jimmy Barnes, Joe Campbell.
So the celebrations have begun for the Port Adelaide Football Club. Interesting coach speaks there, Mick.
Well, we're looking for an additional sponsor. Maybe it might come out our way.
What a wonderful effort. A great comment by Mark Williams. They're hard as hell to beat Brisbane, so it's even sweeter beating them.
That's right. And full credit to Brisbane, who have been outstanding. And it's going to take a good side to beat them. And today was their day. It was always on the day in the grand final. And things rolled their way. There was a few errors made early in the game, which Port capitalised on. Brisbane come back, and it's a good side to be able to steady when Brisbane come at you. And they trailed for a little while and got back, and of course just went away with it.
So we're about to start a long lap of honour, Stephen Sylvania. Very sweet moment.
Yeah, well, it definitely is. It's really been 3 or 4 really long years, and the Port players were exceptional today, and they'll enjoy this moment.
Look like gold to me, and I'm down on the penny.
Port Adelaide home by 40 points in the grand final of 2004. They stormed home, kicked 9 of the last 10 goals of the match. And look at Warren Treadway, and what about that for a shot? Shane Wakeland has missed out the last couple of years for the Pies, but the twin brother has congratulated Darryl on his premiership medallion. Let's go down to Andrew Marr on the MCG.
Thanks very much, Hutto. I'm down here with Mark Williams. You've just seen your mum in the crowd. How does that make you feel?
I should be very proud. You know, as you know, she had a heart attack about 8 weeks ago, so to be here, this is everything for her, and you know, I'm sure my dad will be very proud as well.
Tell us how he would be feeling right now.
Look, he's all about winning, and you know, he set up this club so many years ago, and you know, we talk about the tradition continuing, and it certainly has today.
It was the first thing you mentioned. You wanted to thank the supporters of the club over 120 years. This club is synonymous with success and victories in grand finals. It's a magnificent organisation.
Yeah, it is. Look, I didn't say anything about my assistant coaches. Phil Walsh, Dean Bailey, Jeff Morris and David Pittman were absolutely outstanding. And a lot of the accolades all go to the senior coach, but they made a lot of the moves and did a lot of the hard work behind the scenes to get the players to play well.
You did say a little bit about Phil Scott, and we all know what he wanted to have done to you at the end of last year. Warren Treadway said that he wanted to stick it up a few of the doubters. You must feel enormous self-relief and belief that's come out of today.
Yeah, having been in finals, honestly, the relief is the number one thing. Right now, it's just everyone else is enjoying it. For us, it's just, oh, you beauty.
And I know you're good enough to give up your time. You want to get on the lap of honour with the boys. How does it feel right now? I mean, just in your own heart of hearts, what are you going through at this point in time?
Look, you know, my kids are going to enjoy it forever. My wife, fortunately, one of my kids was sick today, so the little guy missed it. But, you know, without the support of those people, my sister and brother, you know, you just can't survive in footy. It's too hard, and you've seen a few coaches go by, but with their support at the hard times, you know, we've won so many bloody games and just haven't won the big ones, so now we have, and you know, we'll be a different team come March next year.
Well, yours is a great club, yours is a greght family, this is a great win. Thanks for your time. Go and enjoy the wander around the lap. And
yeah, there's some special people, you know. Kingsley started with me at Essendon Reserves, kicks the winning goal. He had Hardwick playing his last game. Josh Marnie come from nowhere. Some real Cinderella stories, and that little book I put together and Marcus winning the flag, it's actually happened, so get hold of one.
It's come true. I reckon it'll be a bestseller. Back to you, Quarters.
Thanks very much to Andrew Marr with Mark Williams, Gavin Wanganeen there, as we go back up to the commentary position with Anthony Hudson, Robert Walls and Tim Lane.
Thank you, Stephen. Some interesting words spoken by both captain and coach. Wallsy?
Yes, there was, Hutto. Look, they're delighted. Enormous relief. They are a very good side. They've proven that today, but over the last 3 years they've been so close. Disappointed in finals, but they got it right this year. They've won 3. They've won their first ever final at the MCG, and what a way to do it. It clinches the premiership for them. And we heard them talk a lot about Brisbane, and that was significant because they respect what Brisbane's done. And one of the things that Brisbane have done over the last 3 years is that they were very gracious in victory. And I'd like to... Spoke really well, Darryl Wakeland, and to see his brother play and lose in 2 grand finals, and then to see his brother Shane come down and congratulate him, wonderful stuff.